Hello. Good morning, everyone. Wow, dead on 7 o'clock. That was close. I was almost late to my own party. Hey, everyone. Yum. Who we got? Hey, Daniel. Hey, John. Hey, Eric. Wow, you're here early. Michael, good morning. Andy's here. David, Tony. Hey, Paul. Hey, Jamie. Crazy Roops. Sim is here. Dave Darko. Torsten. Steve-O. Stevie-O. Mr. Stephen Ludgate. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Hey, Wolfgang. Oh, Andy's got bickies and coffee. Ooh, yum. 2 bickies and a coffee. Haha. Did I cover all the places of the world now? Oh, right, okay. Hey, Gary. Hey, Mike. Welcome, everyone. We've gone like complete flip. Last week we had like a really hot, like 30, 36, 37 degrees. And today I'm in a jacket, a hoodie, and jeans again because it's freezing. It is absolutely freezing. Hey, Julian. It's freezing here today. Just Melbourne. Melbourne is just nuts with its weather. An update about the time machine build. Oh. We don't talk about January. I don't even want a time machine. Not going to talk about January. I've been making some progress on my mechanical build. Not ready to share anything yet. Well, I shared a picture on Instagram, I think. Was it Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, maybe, the other day? Just some breadboarding. Hello, Geert. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I apologise if I just mangled your name. Hello, Adam. Evening. Maxi into R&D. And Ken. Hello, Ken. Paul, the curtains. Wow. Lots of people. Welcome to all of you. It's going to be a pretty informal stream today. I have got a whole bunch of projects just at different stages, so nothing I could really work on my stream. And I've got some Neo 7 segments to build, so I thought I'd just do that on the stream today and just chat. And I'm going to do the unthinkable. Hey, Alex. Hello. I'm going to do something unthinkable today. I'm going to open up some mail on my stream because it is piling up. On my last mail video, I said I was going to rapid fire a couple of mail videos over the next week or so. I haven't got around to it. I just haven't been able to get to my mail and open it. Or definitely not on video anyway. So I'm going to open some mail on my stream. That should be fun. Hey, Georgie. Hello, Stephen. It's warmer than normal. -9. Ugh, that is... Okay, I should not complain about being cold when you're getting negative degrees. Unexpected mailbox. Could be, yeah. Or mailbag or something. So I learned something new the other day. I didn't realise. Mr. David Grants and I were talking. He's not here now. Hey, hello, embedded hobbyist. Not a live postbag. Yeah, maybe. I'm going to open a little bit of mail just while we chat. I don't have to. If everyone's against me opening mail, I won't do it. That's fine. I know it's an unthinkable thing to even consider. Anyway, I was speaking to David, and I'm sure everyone here knows this, but I never knew that obviously Fahrenheit and Celsius, in the positive scale, they're different. But did you know once it gets to 0 and below 0, they're the same? Oh, hello, David. Just talking about you. Are your ears burning? Oh, Gillian wants me to open mail. Yeah, that when it goes negative, it's the same. So negative 100 degrees Celsius is the same as negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 10, -9 in case of John and Raymond. So I didn't know that. I'm not sure why I didn't know that, but I do now. I love learning stuff. It's great. So I need to build these first, because if I don't build, I need to send these off today. If I don't build these first, I won't build them. Right? So I figured I'll get this out of the way. It won't take me too long. No, it's not the same. Only at negative 40. Oh, what? So negative 10 is not the same? No. Is the internet wrong? Not this internet. The Google internet? Interesting. Hey, Gavin. Hello, Amy. Negative 100 C is negative 148 Fahrenheit. No, that's not right either. Okay, we need to do some Googling. Fake news. So, oh, okay, well, there you go. Well, then I did not learn something new. I learned something. I learned fake news. Yeah, no, I don't do Wikipedia. Wikipedia is knowledge, is crowdsourced knowledge with no one vetting it. No. But then again, just general Google. I mean, I don't just read one article and then believe that it's law, that it's fact. But hey Jamie, we have warm negative 5C in Finland. Wow. At the time we were talking about super cold Midwest temps, which were around negative 37. That was very close. Okay, maybe that was what prompted the conversation. Always the same at negative 40. So negative 40 and beyond, or just negative 40? Not that it matters to me. I don't live in a place where I get to negative values often. It's happened. Like we've had negative 1, negative 2, but not... Right, so just negative 40. Interesting. Oh, well, there you go. Now I feel like a fool. I feel like a fool, but I have a hot coffee, so... That's okay, I think. Okay, I need to get stuck into this because I need to do it. I need to do it. I got my stencils. Can I move out any more? A little bit more. A little bit more I can move out. Hey Colin, how you doing? So I just figured we can chat while I do this. These are not super hard boards to put together. It's not like I don't need my microscope or anything. And I'm actually running out. Why don't they fit? Okay, that's going to be hard to get out. Wow. I don't even need my magnifying glass for this. The size of each degree is different. The convergence is negative 40. See, I didn't know that, but now I do. I was testing you. No, I actually thought I learned something new, and I did. I learned something wrong. I learned something new that was wrong. Wow, that's the last time I announced that I learned something on the channel. Wow. That looks a bit like it needs a stir. I'm back to my quick chip for the moment. Obviously, I cannot use my new reflow oven at the moment because it's in pieces. Yeah, I'm using my quick chip, my low temp, and I'm going to just use my reflow master with my toaster oven, which is still here, by the way. I have no intention of replacing it. It is a great workhorse. It does really well. It's not really designed or can't easily do the high temp stuff, that's all. I'm going to probably have too much paste, whatever. You can never have too much paste, right? There's no fine pitch stuff on here, so I don't have to worry too much. I have thought about making an actual stencil holder. I have. Did I not speak about that on my last stream? I thought I did. Okay, I'll talk about... Okay. Not a stencil holder, but what I want to do... I mean, this is still using PCB underneath here, but with my new stencils that I've been doing, that you might have seen, I do the 3D printouts to hold the boards. And so what I want to do is make a frame for the stencil that I can stick it to hold the stencil flat, like this. So there'll be a frame around it, and I can stencil on the inside. I plan on doing that. The problem is, how do I hinge it? Hey Yuri, if I've missed anyone that's gone past when I wasn't looking, I apologise. Next time it hits negative 40 and I can point it out. I will do that in Embedded Hobbyist next time. I might be 1,000 years old at that point, but yeah. Lost my train of thought. Lost it completely. I saw Yuri said hi, and then that was... Anyway, yeah, something to hold it flat and down. Oh, that's right, hinges. Hinging is a problem. So I went to look at all different types of hinges, and even the strip hinges you get that are like that have got, I don't know what they're called, like piano hinge I think they're called. There's still a little bit of give, and for something like this, it's fine. A little tiny bit of movement still leaves me on the pads, but for something like thank you, David, the hinge, yes. For something like my tiny Pico, where if it at the hinge level it moves even like 1/10 of a degree, by the time it's at the fine pitch stuff around the QFNs, it's out. It's half off the pad. So I was really dismayed because I thought that something at least like a piano hinge. You know what I mean by a piano hinge? Those really long, tall strips. Like you can almost cut them. They're really thin, rigid. I mean, you can get obviously thicker ones for pianos, but you can get thin ones. Yeah, I couldn't find anything that was going to work. So right now I don't know how I'd hinge it down and hold it still without shifting. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what Jep means and why we're doing choo choo. Dave Darko started choo choo. What's going on with choo choo? I'm having a least penalised PCBs with holes and matching holes. Yeah, that's what Ben does. The problem I've got is I can't do that with my tiny Picos. They're too small. And I only want to stencil one tiny Pico at a time. I don't want to stencil a panel. If I did a panel, it'd be fine. Wow. As I said, very lucky that there's no fine pitch stuff on here. I can just go over it again and again. That's pretty bad stenciling, I have to say. Do as I say, not as I do. As long as all the pads are done. Yeah, that looks okay. As I said, not my best work, but it really is my best work when I'm on a stream. In case many of you haven't noticed. Yes, it maybe only works for panels. Well, it doesn't just work for panels. So I could do it on a single stencil, and what I'd have to do is I could still use the fiducial areas, or I'll put holes in the panel for the boards, but then I'd have to make a custom Gerber for the silkscreen, which JLC can do. I can upload a custom Gerber for it, and I can build, and I could have the holes in it. But it's more work, more things to go wrong, and I don't want to have to start doing that for every single one of my projects. I think that would be quite painful. No, we're not using the 962A today because it is in pieces still from the other day, because I have my new parts. I have a new fan. Let me make some space. I've got a new DC fan, 12 volt fan for the top to get rid of that whining sounding noise, which is so loud it is unbearable. Wow, that PCB is not going to come out again at all. And I've got that new temperature sensor, which I need to install directly onto the motherboard, which should prove interesting. If you need me to see something specific, just at me, please, so I don't... Choo-choo is the sound that the train your thoughts make when leaving. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, David. Yep, that's cool. That's very funny. And if only you knew how true... Actually, I don't do choo-choo sound, but yes. It's just easy to get distracted on a stream, right? You're in the middle of saying something and then a whole bunch of messages come past. Okay, I can't get this one in. What is going on? Oh, wow. God, that's not going to move. Okay. Hey, Andy Mouse. Okay, last one. I think that's good enough. Better be good enough. So this Chip Quick is definitely past its use by date, but it's still wet. So if it's wet, it should be good. I hope. I hope. That's all I'm going to say. If not, well... I was thinking of using this today, but not... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. I might just empty all of the caps. I'll just move in closer just for a minute. Miss the top. Did you miss the top of the panels? The top of the panels. Wait, what? What? What panels? What are we talking about? Let me just move one of these in. What do we mean? What do you mean? I mean, there's... You're not talking about the through-hole stuff, are you? Everything's got pads on it. All the pads are covered. I'm just going to take all these out, like all the caps, and just put them in a pile. And the same with the resistors and stuff, just so I can get to them easy. I could really use a pick and place. Yeah, so I've got the mods to do, more mods for the new reflow oven, and I'll do them this week, and I'll get another video out on Friday. I want to just get that project wrapped up. Didn't quote the pad near the hinge. No, they're all done. They've all got paste on them. I want to get the reflow oven just working reliably, because I've got so much news. I got stuff to show as well, but only in digital form. I've got a lot of boards sitting at JLC PCB, or about to go into JLC PCB. So my final revision, I'm calling it final because I'm being optimistic. My final revision, Tiny Pico, is at JLC PCB. So that is the one with the PS RAM pinout change to conform with Espressive. I have got my new ESP32 development board that I was working on last week. I finished. Haven't shown you all what I did. So I'll show you that today, just in Eagle. So that's being done at the moment. And I've got another board which is secret, which is for a project that I'll build it. I don't know if I'll build it live or do it on video, because I don't even know if it's going to work. Oh, I just flung some caps everywhere. One landed in my lap, I think. I'm going to be short a cap. Oh well. I'll have to get another one. Did anyone see James Burton's latest video? Thought it was when I saw it. His kitchen one, the kitchen robot thingy something. I haven't. It only came out overnight. I think I haven't seen it yet. I was asleep. Following your oven project because planning on buying the same one. So just to be clear, because a few people have commented in my comments about the video, like, what am I thinking? Give it back to contact the seller. It's faulty. It's not faulty. I knew exactly what I was getting into when I got it. I was hoping that it wouldn't be so far out, because some people have got these ovens and have had much better results with them. Maybe because they're doing lower temp than what I'm trying to do right now. Okay, these are not coming out of their holders. Oh, because only half the tape came off. Has anyone had that happen before? Only half the tape? One second, I need to concentrate just for a second before I lose them all. And caps are way too precious right now to lose. Okay, I can't get this off. If I'm missing something, I apologise. Hey, Neffers. Sorry, folks, I need to get this off. I'm not wasting these. Too expensive. Okay, I'm sure I've missed some. Oh well, okay. Wow. That was way harder than it needed to be. They're definitely not marbles. Yeah, so I knew what I was getting myself into when I bought this oven. I knew I'd have to mod it. I was always planning on putting the new software on, because the new software prevents scorching PCBs. And who wants to scorch their PCBs, right? No one. But I was hoping I wouldn't have to do any of the severe mods to it, that's all. Half that's not full of cold. I only have one brain cell at the best. Okay, I don't know what that comment was about. Yep, sorry, just scanning. Okay, and I've got lots of these ready to go, and I'm onto pink blue tack today. Pink tack. I bought known dubious electronics from China, as I wanted no white fails if I wanted project parts anyway. Yeah, well, I didn't particularly want to like gamble on it and have an oven that I wasn't going to be able to use. To be fair, like should I use my air pump to do these? I might use my air pump to do these today. It'll make a bit of a racket, but I need to see if I can do this on camera. I can fit them all on so you can see it. But yeah, like as I said, I didn't want to do all these severe mods. You know, there are people who are doing some really full-on stuff to it. I didn't particularly want to do that. But I don't know if its life expectancy is going to be very long if I keep running it at 270 degrees. So I needed to get closer to the mark. A little surprised you didn't use a Reflow Master to control your new oven, because my Reflow Master won't control my new oven, because the oven is way more complex than what my Reflow Master can do. My Reflow Master would need some severe mods to be able to run a T962A or a non-A. The way the thermocouple, firstly it only accepts one thermocouple, not two. I need to be able to drive 2 fans with it, not 1. So yeah, like it's just not possible. It's not what it's designed for. Reflow Master designed just for a single thermocouple, single fan toaster oven setup. But that doesn't. Whoa! Hang on a second, folks. I've got some cables caught. Oh no! Get up! Get up! That's going to be interesting. Hang on a second, everyone. I'm going to have to unplug something and shift it. It's stuck. This thing's stuck under my new light, which is very annoying. I don't want to move my light. Come on, come on. This is called Xeon Cable Management Livestream. Wow. It's actually not that messy under here, but it's, I guess, messy enough. Why won't that come out? Oh boy. Yay! So the problem is the air pump cable is really short for the power cable. So, okay, I've got my, oh no, where'd that go? Got my air pump. Is that to Benny Hill edition? Thanks everyone. That's a neat trick with tape. Oh, this trick? Yeah, I do that all the time. Got to be careful. You got to run the blue tack down the side. The first impulse is to stick it underneath, but the problem is these have got holes underneath, and if the blue tack touches the LED, the LED will never come out of the little box. Can everyone hear that? I'm sorry about the noise. What? Adam blew up in that mega. Oh no. Pump sounds just fine. Okay, cool. Because it's easier for me to do this, although I'm further away from the camera. And this is a really crap pump, by the way. And I can't see what I'm doing because of the light. Wow. Reflective. Lucky I've only got 4 of these boards to do. Clearly I'm not going to be looking at the chat, folks. Sorry. It's definitely faster than tweezing, but it does hurt the wrist after a while. Who needs a pick and place, right? Still hear you fine. I feel a little sorry for the headphone users though. Sorry everyone. I'll straighten any of them up afterwards if I need to. Unlike other surface mount components, these don't really straighten up too much when they reflow. The pads are big enough underneath that they're happy sitting where they are. I love the noise. Oh, that was a bad one. How's that? How does that look, everyone? Hey, Gaston. Hey, Scott. Def Palms Repair Channel. I have a small hand vacuum pump. You just squeeze the button to vacuum. Yeah, this has got a button as well, but I hold it down all the time. I don't do the squeezing thing. The amount of movement on the tip when I do it, it just makes things wobble a bit. Hey, Electronics Workshop. Yeah, I've got some 7-segment displays to ship out today for an order. I thought I had some built, but I've only got white ones built at the moment, so I've got to make some. I'll do the rest of this board in a... Actually, no, maybe let's do one at a time. I'll get this one out of the way. You can go off. It's definitely handy using the pump, I have to say, but really hurts the wrist. But much better than tweezing. Much faster than tweezing. Oh, my camera's locked. The vision has stopped updating. Why has it done that? We had this last time, didn't we? When I was using my pump and the camera stopped working. I'm sure we had this last time. Does anyone recall? Oh no. Let me see if I can fix it. No, I'm going to turn my camera on and off. Can everyone hear me? Oh no. Okay, we're back. Does anyone recall that happened last time? I had this vague memory of last time I used the pump, okay, well I guess I'm hand placing the rest of them. That's gonna suck. Because that's gonna take ages. Oh no. Everyone up for a long stream today? I can get closer now anyway. Wow, I've totally forgot about that pump issue. Maybe if I put it on a different... I just threw a cap somewhere. There it is. Maybe if I put it on a different power supply. On a different power board. I'll try that next. Sorry about that, folks. Coming in loud and clear now, yeah, because I had to turn my camera on and off. That's what you get when you buy an air pump from China. Vague memory of it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it definitely was. Definitely happened. I'm pretty sure I was here when it happened. I used to get so nervous about building these boards. Like just the how many parts there were and getting all the alignment right. I mean, to me this is like working with Duplo now. So does everyone know what Duplo is? You know, you got Lego, and then you've got Duplo, which is like the early kids, like the really young infant Lego, super big blocks. Yeah, it's like working 0805 now for me is like massive. It's like working with house-sized bricks, which is kind of bizarre. And every time I do it, I think to myself, I should really use smaller parts, like with my ESP32 board, which I will show everyone shortly. Okay, I can't... The lighting in here is terrible. Can everyone see where the little corner is? I'm pretty sure that's there. Okay, that's one board. Should I reflow them one at a time? I don't know. I might... Should I reflow them as I'm going? Put mains filter on the AC input. I don't have a mains filter anywhere, anything, something I could use for that right now, to be honest with you. But I've got another power board on the other side, but I don't have I need a power extender. I'm trying to think what I've got nearby. What do you call them? Stickle bricks? They're called Duplo here. They're really, really large bricks, like for babies. Hang on one second, folks. Okay, I'm back. I've got a power cable. I have a power cable. I'm just going to cut this. It's actually cable tied. Surprise for me. I'm normally pretty crap with my cable management. Okay, hopefully this will prevent it from... turning off. Oh, they're two different things? Stickle bricks and Duplo? Okay. Okay, I'm going to do a test of turning this on and off and seeing if... Be careful not to kick the cable. And seeing if it turns the camera off. You ready? Let's try this. Okay, it's normally I think when I turn it off. Yeah, that... Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we can keep going now, except coffee time. Okay, next. Now you got to be careful when you're... And I know because I've done this a few times. So when you blue tack this down, I've been meaning to make holders, but I never got around to it. When you blue tack it down and you pull the tape off, you have to be very careful pulling the tape off. You got to do it slowly and hold it down, because otherwise it flicks and everything goes flying out, or they flip upside down. So... I'm speaking from experience. I've done this a few times. There's no point trying to lay them out like this and then flip them all. So when you're peeling, you've got to keep holding it still. Because the flipping, yeah, pointless. Hello, Chris. Oh, Chris is here. How you doing, buddy? I miss you. I hope you're well. Oh, hello, beer gun. I'm sorry if I've missed anyone in the list. Have I said hi to Station 240? I don't think I did. Hi. I said hi to Scott. Yep. If I missed someone, I apologise. Here we go again. Let's go. Except it's loud. Louder. See if I can move it further away. Okay. Let's rock these out. Wow, that was not straight. By the way, I think I mentioned last time, the only thing I use my air pump for is these NeoPixels. Because it's the only thing that weigh enough that actually work really well. I can't do fine pitch components or like small passive stuff with them, with this. Because it doesn't have enough suction. And it's got, like, you get rotation at the bottom. Very hard to place, very hard to hold still. But these 50-50s work really well. Not even the 35-35s, they don't work well at all. But the 50-50s are a perfect weight. I'm sorry if I'm missing anything exciting. It's great to see you here, Chris. I do really miss you, mate. But I know you're super busy with work. Oh, lost the last one. Okay, turn off. Yay. What? Morphine? What? What happened? In bed with 3 fractured vertebrae. Holy moly. Chris, what happened? Sorry, I just missed all the chat about it. How did you do that? Wow. I'm really trying to get through this quickly, folks. I'm sorry. I mean, at least there's kind of electronics happening, right? Get this closer so you can see. Yeah, back problems suck. As you get older, they get worse. And they linger longer. And for those that are laughing about the "as you get older" comment from me, for those that don't know how old I am, I'm towards the ancient end. Carry on watching with interest. There's really nothing interesting to watch, sorry. Watching my placement skills with interest, are you? Lucky Digi-Cool Things isn't here. You can't see me putting on the resistors all different directions. And if you're lurking, just keep lurking. Okay. Blip. Okay, it's 2 ready to go. I didn't check position. surprisingly, they all look okay. They look, yeah, good enough. I might actually start reflowing these two while I work on the next two. Oven on. Just going to put them in. And start. Okay, you need to watch that. None of us would dob you in. Thank you. I feel honoured that you've all got my back. I appreciate it. Okay, next. I don't care about resistor orientation either, as I'm using 063. Right. I don't even care about 0805. Like, yeah. Like, at some point you just got to say, okay, it's more important to get the resistor on, seated well with good reflow, than get it the right way around, I think. There are so many channels, Scott. The endless amount of YouTube content out there to watch, it's just nuts. And everyone's channel deserves to get watched as well. Like, everyone's doing different stuff. Even people doing same stuff, it doesn't matter. Everyone does different versions of their same stuff. They put their own flair and or their own spin on things and stuff. So, how long have I got? Do I have enough time to grab all this? Let's do a marathon quick one. You ready? See if I can do this before the reflow finishes. Okay, now I'm getting shaky hands. Now I feel like the pressure's on. Racing the oven clock. So I have thought about making a custom reflow master for the T962. Like, as if the thought hasn't occurred to me. I just don't know if it's worth it. There are definitely enough of the 962 models out there. There might be people interested, but most people who've already got one have done the mods, or they've worked out how to get it working for them, or they don't need the mods. So I'm not sure like, I'd have to make a complete drop-in replacement, but something that doesn't require new power. I'd have to, like, leverage the AC that's connected in there with the little transformer that's in there with the 12 volt stuff, like, and I'd have to actually build a drop-in board that has onboard rectifier, so AC to DC, and then have to go to 12 volts and then step down to 5 and step down to 3.3. So it's not necessarily going to be an easy or a cheap board to make. Plus, it's going to have 2 or 3 thermocouples on there. It's going to need multiple fan control, a completely different set of code. Oh, I did it! Wow. How cool is that? Videos on electronics. The new for hours. All the small channels gave up? What? What? I wish there was an endless stream of YouTube vids on electronics. I have about 350 channels up. 350! Wait, you're subbed to 350 channels. Sometimes nothing new for hours. Yeah, yeah, Paul, I'd have to make something totally commercial, right? Like, to make it, like, making a one-off for me, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'd end up spending 4 times or twice the price of my reflow oven. But But if I was going to make something that was commercial, it might make more sense to do it. But then I don't know if it's worthwhile doing. It would not be a simple thing. And I'd have to buy another oven, which I'd have to hack to get working, because I need this oven to build my stuff with. So the investment would be huge. Okay, that's about to stop. I'm going to run out of time. Okay, you want to hear that beep? Screen halted again? No, it's here. Hang on, sorry. I need to go to my oven. Well, I don't know if I'd worry about compliance on it. I mean, it's going into non-compliant equipment, right? So I'm not sure how... Like, it'd be sold as is. Does that make sense? Yeah. The magic pin. Okay. Need my pliers. While that's cooling down, I'm going to... So my oven works great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I felt like I was cheating on my Reflow Master and my toaster oven when I bought the T962. But I really tried my best to do the high temp in the toaster oven, and it just can't do it. It's not a Reflow Master issue. It's a toaster oven issue. It's just... A toaster oven is not designed to ramp temperature that quickly. Like the T962... I'm just going to keep calling it the T962. It can ramp, or the A model can ramp at about 9 degrees a second or something. 9 degrees a second? Don't quote me on that. But my oven can only do like 3 degrees a second. And then a toaster oven's designed to hold the temperature inside. So it can't cool down properly. So yeah, I feel guilty. Like I felt like I was cheating on my toaster oven. But not all projects need to do high temp paste. Clearly, like these things I'm doing here, I wouldn't... Oh my gosh. Flip. I would never do NeoPixels in high temp. That's crazy. Not even 180 degrees I'd never do NeoPixels in. Okay, let's get these out. Let's have a look. One. I'll move the camera in a second. Let's get this a bit closer. Okay, they look pretty good. From what I can see. Go on, say it. More light. There we go. I've got a toaster oven that ramps almost there. Ceramic insulation. I have to manage cooling by opening the door though. That's right. So even if you can ramp it up fast enough, the fact that you can ramp it fast means that you absolutely cannot cool it in time. So, like, it's a trade-off. That's why like I'm constantly looking at the clock on my Reflow Master, and even with the fan only starts me on the first of the cooldown. But what that does is gives me about 15 seconds to open the door. So it gives me like a window. A toaster oven is really not designed to do this type of stuff. But it's been working great. You know, and I just reflowed 2 of these in there at once, no problem. Cool, they're great. I'll test them later. I need to keep going. I want to get to the mail portion of today because I've got mail to open. And I'm almost done. Motorized door. So that's a motorized door is an option, but it needs to open the whole way. So... And then, of course, I need to find something that I can attach to the side of the oven, like servo-wise, that can open the door, but that won't melt. So it needs to be either something metal, or it needs to be something completely Frankensteined away from the side of the oven, because the oven gets quite hot. The whole toaster oven gets hot. I keep feeling like this is getting lower and lower in frame. I apologise. It's actually in a better position for me to do this. Okay, almost done, folks. Come on, you little bit of plastic. Okay. There are other drop-in boards you can get. I think you missed the small LED on the last one. You're right, thank you. Who was that? Rob. Hello, Rob. Didn't see you lurking. You're right, I did. I got so excited. Wairu cap and Amiga. Save the caps for the 60. Whoa. No, gotta do both. Need to preserve the Commodore equipment. And I did see your message earlier, Adam, about a new version of the handbook. I did pass that on to Matt Trentini, by the way, who loves his M5 stack. There we go. Thank you, Rob. And I did do a quick scan through it of the book, and the book looks pretty good and pretty thorough. I have no idea what the tool is still. Like, I know what it is now, but I didn't even know it existed. Okay, last one. Here we go. Oh, I can the smell of reflow in my office now. I don't know if it's toxic or not, but it smells great. I know the flux part is toxic. I'm excited to show you all what I did with my ESP32 board. I'm actually getting boards made, and I'm going to build some, and I'm going to sell them on Tindy. Just a few of them, if anyone wants some. They're pretty cool. And of course, it'll be open source. Oh, well, once I've validated that the boards work, I will put the files up on GitHub. Whoops. And I feel like I've been cheating on my Tiny Pico by working on the ESP32 board. But they're two different things. So, you know. Don't you hate it when someone ends a sentence with, you know? I don't even know what that means. You finished them then, so I missed the end of the stream. I didn't finish it on the stream. No, it needed a lot of rearranging, a lot of work. And then what I also discovered, so interesting, so that was the very first ESP32 board I made, well before Tiny Pico was even a dream, even well before I even knew MicroPython was a thing. So I made some mistakes on that board, which I realized the other day when I was finishing off the routing. I was using some I/O that I shouldn't have been. So some of the I/O on the ESP32 is input only, like pins 35, not pins, but I/O 35, 34. They're input only. But I had exposed those, which I think is kind of stupid, because people would try to use them as an I/O, and they wouldn't work. Let's face it, most people don't read the data sheets, do they? You got a pickup tool. Hey Tabletronics, I've always had this. I've used this before on my stream. I just don't use it often because I only use it for NeoPixels. NeoPixels. You know what I mean. 50-50 pixels. Okay. Almost there. Have we built a high voltage leakage tester? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like my brain is a high voltage leakage tester. Or not a tester, just the leakage. Yeah, so I made some silly mistakes on that board, it turns out. And so I fixed all that as well. I made the board smaller. And I added an interesting connector to it because I had some spare space. So I'll show you all in a moment. And as I said, I have sent it off already. So if it's wrong, if someone spots a problem, well, there we go. I did sit on it for about 4 hours before I sent it, umming and ahhing and looking through everything. But you know, sometimes you just miss things. Okay, I did lose that one cap, like I thought. I'm going to have to go find a cap. Let's get everything else on first. This microphone is right in my face. Okay, one cap. Hello, hello. Oop, almost fell off my chair. Okay, good. Put them away before I forget. Gotta run. Oh no. Good luck for the snowstorm. Fingers crossed everything... Fingers crossed you stay warm, David. And for anyone else in America right now who is suffering these stupid storms and cold weather, well, we know who we can blame for that, right? Okay, I'm just going to leave that one right there. Cool. Okay, we have 2 boards ready to go. 1, 2... And we're reflowing again. Yay! Maybe grind the nozzle to an angle on the pickup tool. Make it a bit more natural to the wrist. Yeah, the problem with that is, and there are, I've actually got some ends I can put on that are tilted like that. The problem is then I have to always get it exactly the right angle, right? And then if I don't rotate it at the right angle, then I get a suction issue. Where this way, the straight up and down, it doesn't matter which way I turn it. And what it means is I can place it and I can rotate the item. I know you can't really see. I can rotate the item on the spot, which is very handy. So I know it looks awkward with my hand, but it gives me way more flexibility in my placement. I do have, but I've got some bent ones. I didn't like working with them. Yeah, what I had to rotate my hand like this to place things, which is very hard when I'm trying to support my hand like this. Where this way, I can just roll it in my fingers, if that makes sense. Yeah, there is method to my madness. Like I don't make myself suffer in awkward positions on purpose if I can avoid it. Shockballs are running a remix competition. Any objections to me doing one on my Mangler remix attribution links? Go for it, Paul. Go for it. That's why I open source my stuff, so yeah, people can leverage it. Feel free. Okay, so that is cool. I've made a mess everywhere on my desk, so while I'm waiting for that reflow, I might just quickly clean up all this rubbish, because I tend to be, I'll come back next week to stream and my rubbish will still be on the desk here. I get a bit lazy. Okay, time to throw the rubbish out. Okay, I'm going to, before I forget, unplug this cable so I don't trip on it. And even turn it off at the power point. Yeah, I'll test these later, but they'll be fine. I've never had a bad board, a bad one fail. They look pretty cool. Okay, that's about halfway through. So, shall we have a look at... Let's have a look at... Where's Eagle? Mighty Eagle. Commence procrastination now. Yes. I hate writing stuff up. Really, really despise it. Let's have a look at my ESP32 board quickly, and then I will start on some mail. I'm not even going to open half my mail today, but I've got a lot of mail. So, ESP dev board. Where are you? There you are. Cool. Oops, wrong desktop. Desktop. There we go. Hi Martin. What does numbers mean? Can we buy those displays? These displays? Yes, these are on Tindy. That's why I'm making these right now. These are for an order on Tindy. Let me see if I can get the page. I'm very bad at promoting my own stuff, by the way. In case some of you didn't know that. I get a little embarrassed about promoting my stuff. Hey Graham, are you reflowing the oven still? Yes, reflowing. I'm listening. It beeps. It lets me know. View store. Yeah, I'll give you a link to my store. As I said, I'm very... Oh, someone just did that. Thank you, Chris. Too slow. So you'll see there's a couple of things. I've got these ones, which yeah, and then I've got my other... Whoop, beep. Okay, I've got my other displays, my newer ones, that I've got some 14 segment displays, and they use a different system, but they're still coloured. Anyway, yep. Hello, Dieter from Austria. Procrastinators unite. Yes, okay, let me just... I'm going to switch back so you can all have a look at this while I'm... Actually, no, I won't, because I need to grab these out of the oven. Okay. That is cooling down. The outdoor is open. Need it to drop below. It's going to beep one more time. I have a brand new C64 computer because the PSU was stolen from it. What? No luck. Hey Teletronics, yeah, it's still in pieces. It's behind. Can you see just the corner of it? Hang on. Let me see if I can... You can just see the corner of it. Just... Oh, there. Beep beep. It's still in... It's open because I have some more stuff for it that came in yesterday and today. So I've got my new temp sensor, which I need to put on the board. Whoops. And I've got a new DC fan. I've got a couple of fans. Quite expensive, unfortunately, but they're low dBs because the fan on this thing sounds like it's a jet engine. The one on top to cool down the top section. It's got a really loud, whiny noise, and I hate it. So let's pull these out. So I got myself some new fans. So they're 12 volt, 40 millimeter, but I've got a 15 decibel and a 17 decibel. I got two different types because I yeah, just because a bit chilly today. Yes, it's cold. Hello, Paul. Yes, it is very chilly today. Hence my hoodie, and I'm appreciating the warmth coming out of the oven. Okay, they look pretty good. They look pretty straight, mostly straight. What's nice about these is because the pixel area is round, so if the package is slightly out, like a degree or two, it doesn't affect the display when it's lit up. Noctua. No, they're not Noctua fans. They're I had to get fans that were low noise, but were rated for a fairly high temperature. Not high enough for reflow, obviously, but high enough that, you know, they're trying to prevent heat. But the fact that they're preventing heat means they're going to get hot. They're going to get warm. So I might open the box and have a look, because there's also something else. I wasn't planning on opening that today. Anyway, they're all done. Thank you for the patience on that. Okay. I'm saying hello, but I feel kind of weird saying hello to... Hello, are we streaming? Is anyone there? Wow, this is an interesting interlude. I think my stream is not going. And my lifetime is going backwards. Stream lost for all unbelievers. Did I just lose this? Okay, I'm getting a lot of chat now. Are we back? That was fun. Wow, lots of chatter coming back in now. I think it's playing catch up. It's Jesus' fault. Whoa, look at this. Wow, look at all the chat. I told you chat wasn't working. I've been sitting here talking to myself. Did everyone just see the chat go past crazy? I don't know. I was just working. I was just sitting here going. My stream says it's fine. It didn't disconnect. That was just bizarre. I've just been talking, saying hello, anyone there? If you're there, say hi. And nothing happened. That was bizarre. And then all the chat just went boom. Okay, clearly something on YouTube side, not me. My stream didn't die here. It was definitely YouTube, but... Wow. Okay. Oh, that was nuts. Yeah, it was about 5 minutes or so, because so if I look at my live stream time on in YouTube, I've lost like 10 minutes. Like it's gone backwards. Oh, I was about to say, what? Did no one see me talking about my ESP32? No way. How much did I lose? So when I was about to say hello to Jesus, is that when it stopped? Right, you guys just missed everything. Oh boy, no ESP. Okay. Wow, mind is blown. Shall we have a look at the ESP32 board? It's pretty cool. Okay, wow. I just rambled for nothing. Okay, let's go. Let's have a look at that, shall we? Yes, it was... No, I didn't open my post. I was about to. And, okay, so... That was... nuts. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do this again. I can't believe I just did this whole ESP talk. We're going to do mail in a second. I just want to go back and go over this board again. Oh, boy. That was... YouTube! Ooh! Okay, so, here's my ESP32 board. I feel like deja vu. Can everyone see this? Now, let's do it. That was a rehearsal. So, wow, I did such a good pitch about this. So this is a board. When you first raise your left hand. At least you've rehearsed. Yeah, okay. So, it's still all 0805 on purpose, and I've laid it all out really nice and neatly, so it's quite easy to hand place everything, as you can see. All nice and neat. I got the DC jack going down, oops, pointing down, USB at the bottom, and what I've done is I had some space on the side, so I added a Grove connector. Right, for those of you who don't know what a Grove connector is, I feel like I just said this. Now it's dropped to 114p. Maybe try refreshing your browser, Adam. Clearly YouTube's having some problems. I don't have any drop frames here. So a Grove connector is a connector that Seed use. They're pretty much standardized on for all of their expansion. And a Grove connector can be used for digital hookup or analog, but also for I2C. So I've wired this up. You can't really tell because I've turned off the bottom layer, but I've wired this up for I2C. You can see here there's SDA and SCL. So I thought that was a nice addition to the board. So it's a vertical connector, so you plug your connector in. Sound is hacking big time. Hey Roger. Yeah, there's clearly something wrong with YouTube. Either that or... No, I don't think my kid's hammering the internet because I don't have any drop frames or anything. It's not a performance thing. Hey Helmet. Wow, lots of people lurking. Anyway, so I've got my my MOSFET in here for my level shifting, and I've exposed 15. So 15 is, hey Gary, 15 is now marked as 5 volt on the front and the back. Hopefully people will make that clear, and I haven't exposed 15 as a 3.3 volt, so 15 is only 5 volt. I exposed 0 and 2 on here as well. Now they're obviously strapping pins, so you're not really supposed to play with these. You shouldn't connect any hardware to them that pull them high or low, but once the board's booted, you can use them as general I/O. So I've exposed those, and what I also did was got rid of 35 and 34 because they're inputs only, and I've exposed 7, 8, and 9 on here as well. So there's more I/O on here. I managed to get the board smaller as well. The board was down to about here. So I got the board about 5mm shorter. Not that it makes any difference really. I mean, it's still a fairly large board compared to the tiny Pico. But yeah, it's all in and routed and ready to go. I labelled all of the components, all the passives anyway, nice and neatly. Let's have a look at the back of the board. Got nice labelling on here. I made all the labels on the back bigger. I've made that kind of clear. 5 volt DC, 2.1mm power. Hopefully people won't plug a 12 volt supply into that like I did by accident. So there you go. This is the board. So it's gone into manufacturing, and I will be hopefully building one of these live on a stream in a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, it's going to take a couple of weeks to get to me because I've got my tiny Pico in there as well, and that's a 6-day turnaround. And so they're all shipping together. So even though these will be ready in a couple of days, I won't get them for a couple of weeks. Thanks, Adam. So it's yeah, it's a really cool board. Like, it's for a large ESP32 board. Maybe consider adding a center plus mark. A center? Well, what do you mean, a center? Scott, a center for what? Sorry, I'm not sure what that is for, but I'm sure you will tell me in a second. For the DC jack, a center. A center plus mark. Oh, you mean for just to show the positive and negative? No. Oh, right, for power, center plus, right. Well, it's too late now, it's already gone off manufacturer. I see what you mean, to let people know that it's a center positive connection. Right, yes, okay, sorry, that's good. Okay, I should have done that, and I didn't. And that's, yeah, wow. So I will quickly do that now anyway, so I won't forget. Damn. Center positive. That looks ugly. Try it again. Let's do center. Center positive, and make this nice and big. Just reposition. So that's on the back of the board, because obviously the front of the board will be covered. Hey David, you spelled center wrong. Who cares what country we live in? There you go. Doesn't matter anymore. Like, isn't everything Oh, Greg's here now. Nice of you to drop in while you're moving. You missed all the us chatting about you before, Greg, about the resistors going on backwards. Anyway, yes, cool. Okay, there we go. That's done. Save that. Let's go to my mail. Let's go to mail. Let's do mail. Someone asked a question about how much is it going to be, I think. Wait, who asked that one? Would the word positive look better? I think a plus sign is clearer for people, isn't it? Maybe? missed some chat. Someone asked about cost of the board. I think it went past too quickly. Anyway, I'm not sure yet. I haven't really worked it out. And it'll be open source, so you'll be able to download the files and make one yourself if you want to. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe $100? No, I don't know. +1 for plus VE. Plus VE. So get rid of the word center and just do plus VE. Or like that. Oops, sorry. Hey Neffers, yeah, I don't know yet. I haven't really worked it out. Again, like it's not going to be a Chinese priced board. So is everyone happy with that? Center plus VE. Do I get rid of the word center then and just make it plus VE? Center plus VE. Yeah, I just need to do it on 2 lines, that's all, to get it big enough. You got to remember how small that is on the board. Can you add an image of the symbol? No. Well, I could, but I'd have to make one, find one, get into the silk. Okay, I don't have. Okay, I'm not going to do that now. I don't have one of those symbols right now. I'm sure that someone's got a footprint in Eagle for it, but I just don't have that right now. That'll do for the moment, just to remind me. Okay, so mail. I think we can do mail. I want to move on to mail because some of this mail has been sitting here for 6-7 weeks, I think. I need to be careful because I've exposed some of my names on the back of some of them. So I have to be careful of opening. Ooh, MCP 2103. We know what these are. Should we do mail now? Good lowercase positive VE. Yeah, I'll play around. Look, it's too late. It's already gone into production, right? So it'll be for a different rev, or it'll be just for the files on GitHub. But the boards that I'm gonna make, I only ordered 10, but yeah, they don't have anything on there. So these are just MCP 2104s, but these are surface mount. Sorry, try again. 23017s. What did I say? 23017. These are the GPIO IO expanders. So you've seen me use these before in dip package. I did them on my segment displays. Do I have a segment display anywhere? No. Anyway, but I got myself some surface mount ones. Yeah, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 of them. Nothing overly exciting. Cool, that's one thing. Yay! Plus VE, positive for mail. Yes, okay. This is a nodule. Nodule. I don't know what nodule means. Okay, these are not nodules. These are LDRs. Lots of LDRs. You'd think more than I could ever use, but you never know. I tend to use them in a lot of projects. Okay, that was unexciting. Yay! How much faster is this than doing it on a video? Integrated circuits. This says integrated circuits. I don't know what that means. Anything in here that's exciting, I will put in my description. Ah, okay, so, yeah, I bought a whole bunch of RFID and NFC stuff, and I need to be careful where I cut that because I don't want to cut the card. Some of this stuff is just really old. LDR's not CDS. What is CDS? Some of this stuff is like stuff that a lot of you have played with years and years ago that I've never played with. So I bought myself a whole bunch of RFID and NFC stuff for a project that I've not announced, and I think we will do some post bags on the next MakerCast. Yeah, I don't think we will. I don't think we should actually. Yeah, so I got different ones with different chipsets and different capabilities because like I'm not interested in the tag or in the card, but you'll see that I've got some more stuff to open, and you'll see what some of this might be for. This has also got some more DuPont cables inside. That's nice of them. Let me just put all this away. Worst case scenario, I could make a card entry lock for my office. Okay, this says sensor module IC. Heavy metal out and using something safer now. Oh, okay, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the ones I bought aren't safe at all. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. This is another one, another type. So, yeah, I've got a bunch of different types because they all use a different type of card. They use a different chip. Some use the same, some use different. They're different sizes. I need to experiment with size of the boards, and they also use different schematics or different layouts on how they're doing stuff. And I thought that was interesting because if I need to do something custom, which I might, then obviously the way they're doing it is quite different, as you can see. Now that's clearly a smaller board, which I like the look of because I need small, but there's also twice as much circuitry on here than there is here. So, and I might not even use these at all. We'll see. But that's another set. Move them to the side. Okay, this is, oh, look at that, NFC 213. Bit of blue for the dads. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay, so this is one of the things for the project. These are NFC tags, sticky ones. These are the smallest I could get for the moment. So each one of these is an NFC, is it 213? And you can kind of see with the lighting. Can you see that? Yeah, get a good angle. See, there's a little bit of stuff inside there. So what I'm looking for is, because there's stacks of these, and I believe each one of these should have a unique ID inside it. Now, I could be wrong. The standard supports a unique ID. That doesn't mean that all of these have a unique ID. But I would like, as you can see, I've got quite a few of them. The idea is to be able to detect them and detect which one it is. But size here is a problem. I needed ones that were much smaller than this. And I need a reader that's much smaller than these. That's why I might have to make something custom. And I don't even know if these can be read from these, because I think the NFC versions that both of these support aren't the 213 standard. So I'm going to try them. Have you seen the fingernail ones? I have seen the fingernail ones, yes. But they're RFIDs and I need NFC. I prefer NFC instead of RFID for the project. So yeah, there's a wire salad. I don't know what that's about. TCRT 5000 times 5. I don't remember what that is. Ah, right. Woo. You all know what these are, don't you? These are the little IR things that I spoke about on a few streams ago when I was talking about my Noughts and Crosses game. So these finally arrived. Well, they could have arrived ages ago and it's been sitting in a pile. So these are all the little bits that I want to potentially use to do my detection of the X's and the zeros. What? There's Brian. Hello, Brian. Didn't see you pop in. What's that NFC business card that was on Instructable? You seen that? No, I haven't. I mean, there's so much NFC and RFID stuff out there, and then there's a lot of people confusing the two and calling things NFC when they're RFID and vice versa. And like one of the issues I've got with these isn't just how small can I get it, how small can I get these, but also how quickly can I scan them. Like, you know, how long does it take to pick up? Like, you know, will this work? Or does it have to be like that? Does it have to be stationary on there? And I got lots of questions, and I don't have any answers for a lot of this stuff. So that's why I've bought a whole bunch of different things, and there's more. And I'm going to try them all out and see if I can find some solution that I can then custom make, if that makes sense. I can custom adapt. Anyway, I have got stacks of these, and these are obviously for my Noughts and Crosses game. So, yay, I will be able to... There's a few more things I need for that project. The 23017s that I opened first, they are for that project as well. Okay, this says circuit boards. Circuit boards. Oh, look at that! Someone sent me tiny picos. Right, these are just from China. That's quite funny. These are the ones back from the RF guy. These are some early revisions, so a couple of tiny picos I can put back in my drawer. Yay! Because they're expensive. Pico D4s. These are the boards back from the RF guy who, yeah, they got mangled while he was doing the matching networks. But cool. You can see lots of damage, maybe. Because he was constantly hot airing on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off to be able to match them. Okay, so I forgot that was in there. That wasn't so exciting. What is this one? This, oh, this says heatsink. Check out Scotty's Strange Parts videos. He's done one on RFID, but not NFC. May help answer a few questions. Thanks, Neffers. I'll have a look. I've done a bit of research online, but you know, when you go and look at a reader and all the things something supports, it lists 50 things, right? And I don't know if any of the capabilities of those things are good or bad or the same. That's why I've tried. Right, RFID is cheap, but NFC is even cheaper, I think. Anyway, heatsinks for tiny picos. I don't even know if I'm going to ship my tiny picos with heatsinks, but I bought a whole bunch of these ages ago. These are... Oh, no way. Where's the stickies? They've got no sticky on the bottom. Okay, well, they're pointless. They did not supply them with any sticky on the bottom, and I'm pretty positive the link had sticky on the bottom. That is bull. Oh well. And they've been sitting here for so long, I wonder if my dispute time has disappeared. Well, anyway, the idea was that potentially I could sell the tiny picos with a heatsink. Because they get hot. They do get hot, these boards, because there is no place for any of the thermals to go. It's a very thin, small board. Anyway. But the last lot I got had sticky on them. I don't know what the deal is there. I'll have to look into that. That's frustrating. Very frustrating. Is that... Okay, that was all my small mail. I'm not finished yet, though. This came from... Do you remember last week I was talking about Tony, a guy in far north of Australia, sent me an LED matrix. Well, this is it. I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch of chat. Anyway, is that as far back as I can go? It is. Okay. I'm talking about a channel or something. I bought that blue heat sink stuff from eBay and it doesn't stick. Yeah, well, that's the other... The flip side is that I could get it and it could be terrible. Wow. Holy shivers. This is so big I can't even get it in frame. Anyone see this? How many pixels is this? And also, it's all been sold together. Wow. So, So Tony makes these for someone, for a project, for a... Yeah. And Wow. So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30. 10 by 30. Yeah, that's a lot of... And he hand assembles these. Is that not nuts? That is crazy. That is seriously some crazy. Data in, ground, BCC, data return, data in. Look at that. The amount of patience to do that is nuts. Yeah, amps. So I'm going to design Tony an acrylic case for this. I can't even get it all in the camera. Yeah, let's see how close I can get it. No, I'm one row of pixels out. Oh well. I'm going to... it's 98% done. Eagle took me forever and I decided not to make them too much work. Yeah, well that was the... So you remember the panel I'm making for the kids? The smaller version of that RGB panel I made, that's also something I've been avoiding getting made up because I don't want to hand place them all. So I'm going to design Tony an acrylic case for this to sit in. And but he sent me one of these anyway, just to have a play with, and wow, that's a lot of pixels. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. That's pretty cool. But I will make a nice display for this. And yeah, the panel is... So he's obviously made them as individual panels. Although that panel and that panel and that panel are different. The back of them. It's bizarre. So he's obviously made two different panels. Maybe it's evolved over time. If Tony pops into the chat later, maybe he'll be able to say. But that is crazy. That's, yeah, I would have gone a thicker PCB, I think. Much thicker PCB for that. That's a lot of caps. That's an expensive panel. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. So, should I open some more mail? I've got more mail. I've got some interesting things. If we're up for it. Let me just put this somewhere so I don't break it. Really, I've got a lot of mail. That one. Okay, well, I'm going to open some more mail because otherwise I'm never going to get my mail open, ever. You can buy 16 by 16 pre-assembled from China. Yeah, no, the 10 by 30 is a specific size for something that he needed for a client slash friend slash whoever he made it for. More mail, please. Okay, so this one, I'll keep opening mail. Why not? Otherwise, I'm just never going to do it. This is not overly exciting. Well, it might be. I bought... I think I spoke about this on the channel a while ago. I bought a video converter that may or may not allow me to use my microscope. And it doesn't have an Australian supply. That is annoying. Center panel has bus bar for power. On that panel. Okay, I didn't look. Okay, thanks, Chris. Test it live. Test what? This? No, I'm not going to be able to because I don't know if I've got a power supply for it. I definitely don't have an adapter for that. Anyway, I don't know. We'll see. NeoPixels 37. What? It's just like Christmas. It is like Christmas. Except I paid for everything. So, this is actually designed, it's upside down, to be a, although it's got HDMI input, which I'm leveraging, a SCART to HDMI converter for retro computing, for retro gaming. But it does HDMI in to HDMI out. And it has the ability to switch between 720p or 1080p, PAL, NTSC, and obviously SCART HDs, I'll be having it HD. So I'm interested to see whether this will allow me to somehow get picture from my microscope into the Mac by dropping it from 60, maybe, down. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if this is going to... HDMI signal smart microscope. Right, okay. Cool. Scott said he uses something similar to this. So yeah, this is not designed to go 60 to 30, but it is designed to translate HDMI to HDMI with a couple of options. So it may do something, it may not. It was about $30. It's worth a try. But I'm not going to try it live on the stream right now. Because to try it live on the stream, I have to get rid of this microphone and this camera, and I need to set up another microphone, and yeah, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not going to do that now, but I will have a play with this. Yeah, as Nefa said, it's designed for retro computing. And there are plenty of models that have SCART or, you know, other like composite or component in and HDMI out, but don't have the HDMI in. But I got this one because it's got HDMI in and out. So I've got a HDMI splitter already and switcher, but it doesn't do any type of downsampling or anything. So this it may not. Might work, might not work. We'll see. Okay. These ones are ICs, and these, I can't remember what they are. What are these? These are... Wow. I'm going to need a microscope or a magnifying glass to read these. I can't remember what they are. Are they... there's an issue with some units where they block the signal due to copyright restrictions, so it blocks the signal on some sources. You need version 4.1 from... Okay, well, I'll try it out. I'll see what happens with it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So I'm going to just see if I can read what is on these ICs, because I can't remember what they are. Okay, that is not readable. There are 8-pin something, and I bought a bunch of them. Oh, what are they? I've got an Amiga 1200 sitting in my garage, which I don't ever play with enough. And a couple of C64s. Let me see if I can find this item on AliExpress. So let me log in. And then I will switch to it. Sign in. And you get to see all the other goodies I bought. Here we go, desktop. So, orders. Wow, 20 unread messages. Sorry. They're my 2317s. Oh, here we go. Right, 50 of them. So which ones did I get? LM393s. So I got 50 LM393s and their little amplifiers. Cool. I can't remember what I got them for. LM393s. Anyway, they're little op amps. There you go. Gotta go, battery about to run out. Bye, Adam. Thanks for joining, mate. Take a photo with your phone and zoom in. Yeah, I could... Nah. Anyway. LM393s. Op amps. Or amplifiers. Don't know. Anyway. Can't remember what I got it for. Okay, next. Okay. Well, this one's RS Components. This is the biggest bag you've ever seen. For one component inside. Or, I think I ordered a couple of them. And they come individually wrapped. So these are the little temperature sensors that I got for my oven. So they're a Maxim, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. I can't remember. A DS18B20. DS18B20. Weren't they for the X and O's? X and O's, an amplifier. Why would I have used an amplifier for the X and O's? I don't think so. I don't remember what I got them for, to be honest with you. I wasn't planning on doing any sound on the noughts and crosses. I don't think. Or was it for something else on there? Was I going to use them for something else? I can't remember. Maybe. I'll have to rethink again what I got them for. I don't recall. So anyway, these are an interesting temp sensor. Let me open one up and show you. So these are not cheap actually. These were $7 each. The amp for the IR signal. It could have been. It might have been actually, Stephen and Rob. You might be right. You might be. I can't recall. Sorry. How bad is my memory? These are little temp sensors, but what's cool about them, let's see if I can even get that in focus. No, you're not going to want to get in focus. A little bit, there we go. Is these are one wire sensors, so you can read to them just with a single pin, which is important because on my oven, the place that these get hacked onto, there's only one input available. So there are other temperature sensors that I could have got that were much cheaper than this, that are a multi-wire, like 2-wire, I2C, or they use other mechanisms, but there's no ability to get that onto the board, and, well, not easily. And the software, the firmware update on my oven already supports this specifically on that pin if it's present. So you can get cheaper versions of this, non-Maxim brand, like these are obviously originals from RS. You can get much cheaper ones that are not, but you need to do some hacking on the legs with a couple of resistors and stuff. And it looked really messy to do, and I just didn't want to do it. So I've got 2 of them just in case I wreck one, because, you know, wouldn't be the first time that I wreck something. So that is to allow the oven to do cold junction compensation at the controller side. So as the top of the oven heats up and the controller area heats up, it can adjust the compensation and knows what the current temperature to compare is. Because right now it doesn't do that. Yeah, I've done that a few times actually with a couple of ICs. Like, what was that for? I don't remember. Okay, I need to put this back in the bag. I need this. And I'm going to open this box from DigiKey. I'm going to open it upside down. These are my details on the front. There's a couple of things in here. Wow, I'm really going to get through all my mail. Or most of it. There's definitely some very uninteresting stuff behind me, which I'm not going to bother with. Make sure there's nothing. Bird's nest stuff from DigiKey. Wow, I love their packaging. Okay, so hide some of this stuff. So I got a few things from here. These are my TPS, can you even read that? TPS 2552. These, oh, I haven't even shown you this yet. These are for my test jig, my revision 2, which I'll show you in a moment. We'll get back to that one, because I've redone that one. Okay, these are my 2 fans. Just going to hide that one for the moment. That's pretty cool. So these are the 2 fans I bought for the oven. And yes, I bought them from DigiKey, and I could have got them. These actually were quite reasonably priced. I could have got them from RS. They were 3 times the price from RS. So that's one. I need to keep it together. And Scott, you want me to send you some stuff so you got stuff to record? Dude, you never run out of stuff to open on mail. Ever. I lost track of some of the things. So these are the 2 different fans I've got. And as I said, they're both 12 volt. They better be 12 volt. DC 12 volt. This one doesn't even... Yep, DC 12 volt. And so one of them is 17 decibels and one's 15. So I'm going to put these into the oven. Or put one of them. I'll start off with the 15. So the other difference between the 2 of them is they've got very different airflow ratings. So obviously the lower the sound, the noise on them, the less air they push through. So I got 2 just in case I need to go to one that's got a higher throughput. I've never seen someone do so many mail videos as you, Scott. Okay, this is exciting. I bought myself an STM32 Discovery Kit. Does everyone know what these are? I'll show you. So a Discovery board is usually from a manufacturer like Microchip or STM or whoever, and it's like a development board. How do I get this out? That is really stuck in there. Okay. I'll see if I can get it out without damaging it. Nope. Without bending any pins. Wow. Get it out. Maybe. One moment. Why? Ah! Defeated by a bit of plastic. Got it. Whew. Here we go. So this is, it's like a reference board, right? So it's got an STM32. It's a 32F4. It's 120 megahertz, I believe. It's got the floating point on it, hardware floating point. So it's equivalent kind of to the SAMD51 that Adafruit use in terms of its specs. And then what you get on the Discovery board is basically it hooked up to a whole bunch of stuff with all its I/O broken out, everything else. It's like a reference board, and it's got the ability to connect to it to use it, and the ability to connect to it and program it. So this is like a J-Link, or they call it ST-Link up here. Like if you imagine there's a line in the PCB just there, that's a programmer. That's a J-Link type programmer. And this side is the development board. And so you've got a couple of buttons on there. You've got, anyway, all sorts of stuff. And so the idea is that you use this to design and program your firmware. Success. What did you have success with, Eric? You're talking about me opening the package? Was that the, yeah. It is a nicely populated board. It's pretty packed in. It's a very neat board. So for those that know, does everyone know who STM are? I mean, I'm sure many of you have heard about like STM development boards you can get from China and stuff. So STM are a Chinese company who make microprocessors and a whole range of ICs. But they're absolutely top tier. They are, when it comes to their product quality and support and tools and everything else, they put a lot of US companies to shame. No, this board is definitely not hand soldered. This, Alan, definitely not. So anyway, so why do I have this? Well, I want to start learning how to develop some low-level stuff on an ARM CPU. Like, so, you know, it's great when you get a SAMD board off Adafruit and it's got bootloaders already on there, and you can program the firmware on there, but the bootloader work's done for you. I want to actually learn how to configure at a really low level, how to configure STM chips, like how to set up all the different capabilities of the chip. Like, you know, I want to be able to say I want this I/O to be like a Sercom or whatever they call it, you know, for serial. I want this I/O to be a touch sensor. I want this I/O to be this. I want to be able to configure the chip at a low level to customize them to do exactly what I want them to do. So basically to design my own bootloaders for them, which is what you use something like this for. Now, like outside of Arduino land, generally you don't even put a bootloader on them. Like in a normal commercial production where you're using an STM type chip or an ARM type chip in a project, like in a commercial project, let's say you're making a medical device, for instance. Well, you're not in Arduino land coding it, right? What you're doing is you're using these boards and you're literally programming it through whatever tool chain, GCC tool chain or something else. You're coding it at a low level. You're writing custom. You're not writing a bootloader to work on the Arduino. You're writing a bootloader to be able to code it and use it. It's all really low level stuff. So I want to learn how to do that. And the Discovery boards from STM32 are really great and pretty reasonably priced compared to some of the microchip stuff. And STM chips are used all over the place. Like, they're really a super popular type chip. Someone mentioned something about the blue pill STM. Yeah, right. So you can get some, from China, some development boards with the Cortex M0 type chips, the blue one, and even some M3 type chips on them at really good pricing. But I want to be able to, plug this in and use their tools and come up with a really low level tool chain to be able to just learn. This for me is a learning board. I have no current plans to do anything with an STM chip in a project, but maybe in the future, I don't know, Reflow Master version 5 with a 120 megahertz floating point based STM32. Yeah, I don't know. So that's exciting for me. That's something for me to just tinker with and play with at some point. Not that I have any time. So this board was like $23 Australian from DigiKey. I mean, it really wasn't expensive, or $28 maybe, I think. Don't know what the invoice is. Yeah, it was under $30. Not many IO. No, definitely not many IO on this thing. Definitely, it's an underpowered chip for sure. Not. No, it's got lots of IO. It's pretty cool. I don't even know how many, but a lot. I'm not even going to count. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I may do a video on this. I may do it on a live stream. I'm definitely not going to learn how to use it on a live stream. And I've got so much to do. I still want to learn how to use my FPGA, the tiny FPGA. My list of things I want to learn is way longer than my available time. So, but this is kind of, yeah. I'm going to prioritize this, at least in terms of my off video time learning and playing with this. And what's nice is the tool they use to configure the actual low-level chip assignments, pin assignments. It's a GUI. It's like a visual type designing tool, and it's available on Mac, Linux, and PC. Unlike the microchip stuff, which is PC only. And because it's visual, what you do is you can basically just drag and drop visually, hook up all your pins, and then you hit a button and it spits out a whole bunch of C code for you, which you then compile with the rest of your code. It's very cool. Yeah, Ben, who's not here, is probably still asleep. He's had a play with an STM32 for his project. He's gone through this process already, so I'm going to leverage some of his knowledge and help, I think. But yeah, anyway, that's it. That's the... Where did I put the cover? No, I'm not putting it back in the cover. I'll never get it back out again. I think that is all my mail for today. The only other mail that I've got behind me is non-unexpected maker stuff, I think, that I just haven't got to yet. Although... I did open these the other day, thinking that they were the 23017s, and they're not. Yeah, I hate that most of the development tools out there are still un-Mac friendly, and most of them are even un-Linux friendly. I really don't like that. So yes, there's some definitely heavy... Ooh, the chip fell out. Anyway, I opened these by accident because I thought these were my 23017s, but they're not. So let's find out what these are. I don't like how that fell out of the packet though. And this one's about to fall out of the packet. Let me just fix that. Oh, come on. So two of these chips are falling out. They put some tape on, but the tape has not worked. Wonder if they're damaged. Doesn't look like it. How small are these chips though? Right, that is completely stuck to the tape. Come on, don't bend a pin. Okay, so let's find out what these are, because I can't even remember. Hello, Alan. Colin, I still need to order my reflow bodge boards for my reflow oven. Never did get around to completing them. Yeah, time's tough, isn't it? Like, it's really hard to... I've got so many things I've started that I never get around to finishing. But I do finish a lot as well. But my plan for 2019 is to complete more stuff. I want to find these chips and I'll show you what they are. Because I can't even remember what they are. Here we are. TSOP 32. Oh, yes. I now remember what these are. Wow. Okay, so these are for a project. This is for my secret project that is currently it's at JLC PCB being made, but I'm not going to share what it is yet. Maybe I shouldn't then say what they are. Anyone want to guess what these are? Eric, I've got it not sorted yet, no. So I was just saying before, I have some stuff here to do my second round of mods. I've got some one-wire temp sensors, which I'm going to put in, and I've got some fans to go in to replace the fan that was in the hood. So I'm going to do some more mods on it this week. I have it reflowing, but it's reflowing too hot. I don't want it to go hot. Are these RAM chips? No, they're not RAM chips. They are not RAM. They are a TSOP, well, they say these are not TSOP 32. They're not TSOP 32. Shall I tell you what they are? No, they're not stepper related. Yeah, Colin, I know you did. I know you've had life to move on with, but it'd be good to see you get back into making. That'd be great. Integrated TARDIS transporter chips. Yeah. These are. I'm building a TARDIS for sure. No, these are LED driver chips. These are TLC 5947s. TLC 5947 LED drivers. So these can drive up to 24 LEDs. Doop doop doop. And there's no data on them here anywhere. On Ali. These were not cheap. Well, it's relative, I guess. 87 cents each, US. Reasonable, but still, it was a large thing. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Ha ha ha. So these are LED drivers for a project I'm working on, which you all get to see. I will assemble one live on a stream when I get them. These that are used on the video panels. I don't know if these are the same ones on the video panels. That's actually a really good question. I don't actually think I've ever really looked to see which ones are on the panels. Now, the ones on the panels are definitely smaller. I don't think the ones on the panels are 24 LED. I think they're maybe 16s. Let's see if I can even read. This is what's on the back of the panel. As you can see, they're much smaller. Oh, God, wrong camera. They're much smaller. If you can look at, I'll put them next to each other. Less pins, smaller. These are probably only 16 or even 8 LEDs or something. That's why there's so many chips. Oh, pointing the wrong ones, sorry, these ones. Yeah, maybe they're 16s, I can't even see what they are. Yes, these are 12-bit, 24-channel PWM LED drivers. Ooh. What am I going to use them for? Well, you will find out. At some stage. What are these ones? Can I even read them? I don't think I can. I use the Max 7219 myself, but probably not suited to your project. The problem with the Max 7219 is I need 24 pins. I didn't want to use multiple chips. I need to be able to drive 24 individual LEDs in PWM, which I don't believe I can do on the Max. I think they're limited to, is it 16 on the 7219, I think? So these ones are chip 1 CN2028AP. I remember looking at the chip 1. Chip 1s have some really nice chips. LED driver chips. And they did have 24 pin ones, but they were really expensive from memory. I did study. I was looking for a lot of different types, but I'll tell you why I chose this one. For a very important reason, I'll show you. I'll show you if I can find it. Okay. Right. So the reason I used it, is the chat still working by the way? Are we still up? Are we still live? The chat has gone quiet. Are we live, everyone? Anyone? Has YouTube died again? Oh, no, we're still there. Yay. Okay, good. So the reason I did it is because it's the same chip that Adafruit use on one of their breakout boards, which means prototyping, because prototyping with one of these requires a custom PCB, obviously. And writing code and prototyping with this was nice and easy. So that is why I chose this chip, because there's code out there for it, there's libraries out there for it, quite extensive libraries, lots of support, and I have a chip on a board that I can prototype with. So that's why I did it. Yeah, sometimes making my life easier is a better option than trying to find something that's potentially cheaper that makes it harder to work. Would you like me to pause the stream, Embedded Hobbyist? We haven't done a toilet break for a while. Not today anyway. Oh, hey David, you're back. What chip did you say those were? These are LED driver chips. These are TLC 5947s. I was going to use for LED segment project, another project on hold. Yeah, always projects on hold. Brian's working on a PCB. Brian, who said he was going to stop working on PCBs, is still working on PCBs. Why has my contrast gone crazy? It's a bit better. Yeah, they're good. They're really good chips, and there's a lot of support for them. And as I said, 90 cents each, US, not too bad. Assuming that they work, because I bought them from Ali, right? So they could be hit and miss. I need to get these ones back in here though. This tape, terrible. So I'm looking forward to... So my boards for these are being produced right now. I have no idea if it's going to work. It'll be interesting, for sure. Will that stay? I hope that stays. So yeah, that was opened by accident, but I'm glad I got that one. Right, I was going to show you another board that I haven't put into yet. There's a bunch of those and several organ consoles. LED drivers for organ consoles. Interesting. Go to MicroPython, Daniel. Yes. Native, much better JSON support. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Eagle just quickly and show you what I was going to use these chips for, which are the 2552 chips, TPS 2552. If I can find where my Eagle thing is. Excuse me. So do you remember, or some of you might remember, I did my video about how I was going to put my MOSFET, my P-channel MOSFET on, do you want to load that? Yes, I do. On my testing rig to do the, so I could turn power on and off. Are you using this? David Sealadder. Thanks for joining. So this is my revision 2 of my board. I've decided to not use the MOSFET, and instead I'm using this IC. A lot of people on the video commented, and even on the stream way back, about using a USB power detection IC, like a short that has short circuit and over voltage protection. Well, I decided to go down that road after all. So, as we can see here, I've got, so the plan is that USB from the Pi, so I'll stop moving this around in 1 second. USB from the Pi, the big USB header looks familiar. Yes, Brian, it does, doesn't it? I ripped this one off Brian because I needed I've actually got one here. So I have one of these headers, and I'm ordering some more. This is from Brian's power blocker. So I wanted the same footprint, and I was using an SMD version, but he has one that's through hole, which I think is going to be stronger. So I chatted with him yesterday, and he gave me the symbol for it. About time I took something from you. I'm going to take all the things from you, Brian. All the things. So yeah. So USB from the Pi comes into this micro B, and then the micro B goes into a female USB A that the Tiny Pico will connect to. Just one thing, the one I linked to is black. Black? What do you mean by black? Oh, you mean under here? Black? I don't care what color it is. Yes, sharing makes communities awesome. You are correct, Neffers. Yeah, black's cool. No, I'm happy with black. Well, it's going to be, not going to see it anyway. And so the idea is that this chip here, it does fault protection. So there's an enable on it, which is this pin just here. So I can turn the chip on and off. If I turn the chip off, it stops power going through. So as you notice from the USB, I'm not routing any power. I haven't decided yet if I have to stick like a resistor or something here going to ground. I don't know if I should or not. There's going to be a live power pin there. Tiny Python. Ha ha. So I'm just using data minus and data plus, and then I'm taking power from this IC. So I can turn, so the power is coming from the 5 volts of the Raspberry Pi. I can turn the chip on and off with an I/O from the Raspberry Pi. And then there's this fault pin, which is always high, and if there's a fault, it gets pulled low. So my sense pin that I was using before, over here, I'm not actually using this pin at all anymore. I'm not reading 5 volts from the Tiny Pico at all. I'm actually detecting the power shorts and voltage spikes and current and everything else via the USB connector, which is the correct way to do it. I've got the PTC here anyway, just in case. I don't really need it with this circuit, but I already had it there, so I thought I'd keep it. And so I can turn this chip on and off, and I can detect as soon as there's a short and the current exceeds a certain value, then it shuts the pin down, shuts the chip down. It pulls the fault pin low, so I can detect that there's a problem. And yeah, I know you meant MicroPython. All good, Daniel. And it won't power anymore until I cycle the power from the enable pin, which is really cool. So now I don't have to fear, because before what my plan was using the FET was that I was going to plug the Pico in and then instantly check that there was no problem, and if there was a problem I'd then turn the power off through the FET to the USB. But that means that I'm controlling that via code on the Pi, and I have no idea if the amount of time it takes to read the I/O to check that there's a problem to then turn it off was going to be quick enough to stop blowing things up, right? Shut it down, boys. I have no idea what that means. So this chip, that's what this chip's designed for, specifically to do this type of stuff. So that's what those are. So I bought 4 of them. I'm hoping I won't need to make more than 4 testers. I've also extended the board out, so it's wider than it was before by a fair bit, enough to allow me to put some guiding acrylic around the Tiny Pico and not sit over the screen. So that's already ready to go as well. And what else have I done? Moved a couple of bits I didn't need, and I'm hoping this is good to go. I haven't submitted this yet. I'm going to do it today. I want to do one more sanity pass on this. But between the current limiting and so I've set. So what you do is you use this resistor here on the elim pin to tell it what current I want it to trigger at. So this 45K tells it to go roughly 550 milliamps. So anything above 550 milliamps, it's going to say, well, too much power, cut it down. I know 550 milliamps seems like a lot, but unfortunately the calibration for the antennas on the Pico D4 require up to 500 milliamps. So when I test the Wi-Fi on the board, if it takes it above 500 milliamps, then it would shut the power down, which I don't want to happen. So I've had to make this quite high. Yeah. So, but this should work, I hope. So I'm going to get these produced, and then now that I've got the board redesigned with new positions, and I have, which you might have seen on the last, I think in the last stream I showed, I've got some clamps. I've got 4 of these little clamps. My plan is to redesign, once I've got these boards back, redesign the acrylic and come up with the final version of, will you be able to tell if the Tiny Pico is placed upside down? No. Well, yes. If it's placed down, none of the I/O is going to work, and so this is all for short detection. Okay, so my concern right now is, like, I already had all the tests working, but what it couldn't do was if I plugged it in and it was completely shorted on the Tiny Pico, my concern is it was going to blow up the USB on the Pi. What about switching the resistor using the controller so it ups the value when you need the higher current during those tests? Okay, well, 2 problems with that, Scott. The first one is I have no I/O spare on the Pi, so I'd have to add an I/O port expander on here, so another chip, another redesign to be able to get more I/O to do that, to be able to switch, because right now I'm completely out of I/O. But I also have no problem with going up to 550. Like, if there's a short, it's going to pull way more than 550. So it's not really a problem. Like, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's not like it's going to get to amps. Like, the second it's over 550 or 570, whatever that rating resistor takes it to, it's going to shut it down. So it's not really a problem. Like, I need the Tiny Pico to be able to pull 500 milliamps. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. It doesn't seem worth it, I don't think. What was I saying? Right, so if you put the board in upside down, so once the short circuit test is done, then it goes into its normal test. And the first test it does is it checks the ground connection to make sure that there's a board placed in there. So if you put the board in upside down, the ground pin will be in the wrong spot and it'll say there's no board there. So remember, there's no power going to the Tiny Pico for many of the pins. These are all outputs, or anything that is connected to are inputs. Right, but what's it going to limit the damage? Like, there shouldn't be any with this chip. Shouldn't be any damage outside of the Tiny Pico. Like, if the Tiny Pico is shorted, it's shorted. Like, it's a dead board. No one's going to try to fix it. This is for a production line, right? So if they plug it in and it says, whoa, shut the test down, the board's faulty, like there's a short, that board's going to get chucked in the bin. My concern is, like, I want to protect the Pi, and this will protect the Pi. I mean, this is rated to go up, I think, to 2.1? No, 1.7. Like, this can take 1.7 amps legitimately without tripping, without saying there's a short. So, you know, me taking it to 550 or 570 is not a problem. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I will be able to detect if the Pico is placed upside down, because the board will say, hey, there's no Pico present. If that makes... Yeah, no, I don't like it with the Tiny. I mean, these are obviously not my final revision. Do I have one here? Well, here's the black one anyway. Like on a board like this, if there's a short on the production line, then yeah, I mean, they have to go look at why there's a short, but they're not going to try to fix that. The amount of time and effort it's going to take to do rework on this is not worth it. Not when, you know, the run might only be 100 boards or 200 boards, and they can, you know, run 200 boards on their production line in about 15 minutes. There's no way they're going to spend 10 minutes reworking this to try to fix it. I don't think anyway. I don't think it's worth anyone's time. Be interesting to see what they do with them though, whether they chuck them or whether they'll send me all the faulty boards. Yeah, I don't know, because I'm only going to pay for the good ones. Right, so back onto this. So yeah, this should now do all my tests reliably. I'll have a guide that you'll only be able to place the tiny pico in one direction, as in, okay, I can't prevent you from flipping it, but in terms of placement and on pins, you won't be able to misalign the pins. So there'll be guides to get in there before it touches the pins, and then there'll be a clamp to hold it down. Hey Amos, what'd you miss? Nothing. Whole bunch of mail. I built some boards. Yeah, I mentioned your name a few times, can't remember why. It's all good. So yeah, I'm going to send this off today, hopefully. When I say hopefully, I think it's ready to go. I just want to double check. So the pinouts for this port are terrible. They're reversed. So ground is on the top and VCC is on the bottom, which is reversed to any... I know at the symbol level it doesn't matter, but there's a conformity, like there's a standard for USB. And not only is this symbol flipped, but they don't even label the pins, they've just numbered them. And I think that's like terrible. My Power Blockers tester seems so ridiculous compared to this. But yeah, but your tester doesn't have to actually test the board. Like if all I had to do was test the hardware and not actually flash it and then test the code and test all the bits on the board, then this would be 1,000 times simpler, right? The key for me is not just testing the hardware, although the testing like for shorts and stuff has been a trickier thing. But once that's all passes, I need to, you know, test that the antenna works. I need to test the Wi-Fi works. I need to test that all the I/O are working. You know, I need to test that the battery is working. I need to test that the APA is working. There's lots of stuff I need to do for a board that, you know, there's nothing worse than getting the boards back from China and power-wise they're all fine, but they used a whole bunch of faulty chips and the USB doesn't work, right? And you can't flash it. So, I always had struggled with that so much on the dumb part. Means it to... Yeah. It's a terrible symbol. Terrible symbol. It's not labelled properly and the pin numbers are reversed, which is, yeah, I think is just really bad. It's my overall schematic for the project. It's not the neatest schematic I've ever done, but yeah, whatever. So you can see here, this is the... Why is that called that? Oh, that's right, because I had to copy the footprint. I had to make a custom... It was silly. So you can see here, this is using a custom footprint that I made. So TPS 2002, TPS 2552. I just forgot to re-enable that. There we go. So you can see that's the symbol I made. Can't you mirror the symbol and get the right way around? I'd have to rotate it and mirror it, and I could, yes, but the fact is that I'd have to do that is just, that's lazy. That's just lazy symbol generation. For something that's completely standardized, that's just a stupid thing to supply to someone, I think, personally. But then again, my standards sometimes aren't so great either. So, you know, I mean, look at this terrible schematic. Sometimes I do ground on the bottom, sometimes I do ground on top. You know, I'm pretty lazy sometimes too with my standards. So, yeah. So that's going in. Yeah, as I said, hopefully today. I've got plenty of time, as I said, because I've got my Tiny Pico boards. I've got a 5-6 day production. So while they're in production, I can keep adding more boards to send out. Yeah, I get very lazy with my schematics. I've tried to go very neat with my Tiny Pico though. And did I go neat with my ESP32? Didn't even look. I should look, shouldn't I? It's fairly neat. Yeah, this is my ESP32 board, the revision I made that I showed earlier, twice, that you all saw once. So that's pretty neat, I think. Neat enough. My level shifter that I put in. Yeah, so there we go. There we go. I don't know what else there is to talk about today. I mean, that's a lot. Covered a lot. Opened up all my mail. Now I've got stuff everywhere I have to sort through. I built some boards. Yay, which I need to send and package up and send. I went through some boards and schematics. My floor is a pigsty. Wow. Standards. You should see the service manual for test cam gear. Yeah, but I mean, that's the point. I think that... God, I used to have a test cam DAT recorder in a previous life. Yeah, I think it's terrible that technical documents or technical parts can be so haphazard. I think they shouldn't be. I think, like, with today's tools, being able to design stuff correctly so simply, like, there's no excuse for having just bad symbols or having pins that are just flipped from a standard. I mean, USB is a standard, right? Like every other... So the reason I use that symbol is it was the only footprint that I could find, or that Brian showed me that he used, that, as I said, that had the through hole on the bottom. All the SMD versions that I was going to use, they... why am I out of focus? I look like there's a halo behind me. Anyway, they were all labelled fine from the other libraries. I don't know why. Bit disappointing. What a mess here. So are you all over me talking about my reflow and mods? Do you want to keep seeing me modding it? I mean, the next few mods are going to be pretty uneventful, unexciting. Do you want to keep seeing it? I keep feeling like maybe I'm talking about stuff that only a few of you care about. So, which is always a problem when you're making content for people, I guess. I'm excited to get it up and running so I can just... Not that I have anything specific right now, but like once my Tiny Picos are back, like these should be the final version, and I need to build samples. I need to build like 20 of them, 20 or 30 of them. Okay, yeah, well, just as long as you don't judge me, Scott, because from a skills level thing, you're like a mile and a half ahead of me. But, yeah. I mean, you modding and repairing stuff and me modding and repairing stuff is like me playing with Duplo and you playing with adult Lego. But there you go, that's okay. For those of you here that don't know anything about Scott's channel, you should go check out his channel. Can you post a link to your channel? Let me see if I can post a link to your channel. So Scott does stacks of repairs. Like he actually goes and buys stuff specifically to repair, which is pretty cool. YouTube. Where is Scott's channel? Hey, the Hawk. Can never pronounce that correctly. Wow, I'm subbed to so many channels. Here we go. Okay, this is Scott's channel. Oh, Scott that got there first. Well done. Go check him out. Wow, over 6k subs now. Dude, you're killing it. It's awesome. Yeah, so lots of mail, lots of repairs, lots of fixes. Lots of MacBook stuff though. Careful for those of you that are anti. Yeah. Yes, and Scott is quite humble. You talking about humble? You talking about Scott? I hope you're not referring to me. I'm not humble. Scott is. Yeah, great channel. Great stuff. Lots of repair stuff. Lots of chatter and banter. Cool. A little MacBook stuff. You know what? I thought it was really nice that you actually asked your community if you were doing too much MacBook stuff, if they wanted you to turn it down a bit. And I think they asked you to turn it down, didn't they? Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you can do that from here with the ... go to channel. I didn't know that. Ooh, working stuff is evil. Station 240. Yeah, so did you all enjoy the MakerCast? Can't remember. We spoke about that last week? I think we did. Wow, it's been a rough week. Can't remember anything. What's my name again? I have an unexpected name. Oh, yes, everyone go sub to Mr. Ludgate. And everyone. Oh, God, this... Should we do that? Should we start posting everyone's channels? Everyone put their channels in, if you have a channel. If you've got a channel, post the link. And everyone go and sub. Yeah, I think the MacBook stuff's interesting, though. Just from a, you know, I mean, if you look at their stuff, like Apple and their design and their PCBs and stuff, like we're talking about some really advanced engineering on their stuff. And so any type of repair work on there, or just any understanding how any of it works, is pretty interesting, I think, from an engineering point of view. Yeah, let's do a sub fest. Let's just everyone go sub to everyone. Yeah, the MakerCast was fun. I'm looking forward to the next one. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Hopefully I'll get a lot of new people to the channel, to view the channel, and to hopefully sub as well. Because that's slowed right down. But, you know, whatever. It happens. That's okay. You know, unlike Mr. Brian Locke, who's been killing it. Like, we still haven't done your 5k sub Q&A. Remember that? And now you're on your track to... You're walking towards 7k now. So, yeah. I'm feeling left behind. Poor me. MakeCast was cool. I can get it to chat as I was trying to catch up at 1.75 speed. Yeah, it was pretty good. It went for less time than I thought it was going to, but longer than everyone was planning for. I don't think there's any getting out of 2 hours worth of streaming. Yeah. Oh no, everyone. Okay, so post your channel link. Where is... Ooh, I don't want to do that from here. Everyone post it, like if you've got a channel and you want people to see it, post. See, Chris did it. Awesome. Maxine to post. You're left behind almost through all. At the rate I'm going right now, 3k is going to take half the year, like at the half year mark. Yay, Andes! Posting. No, you're going way faster than me, Scott. That's okay. That's fine. Whatever. It's up and down. I do a very broad range of stuff, and so I also lose quite a few subs sometimes, and you know when I'm doing laser cutting stuff, I get a whole range of people who watch my stuff, but a lot of people that don't, and whatever. So it's okay. Sorry, that wasn't a complaint. Like, my growth is my growth. You know, even if it was triple rate, it's not going to make any difference. Like, I'm not going to get to 100k subs anytime soon. So that's okay. Yes, come on, everyone go sub to Amos as well. He's doing some interesting stuff with... Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, actually. Yeah, a lot of people have channels where they're not actually building channels, you know what I mean? They're using it to post stuff for individuals or privately or whatever. So that's okay. Not everyone wants to grow their channel particularly or have a large channel. Oh, Greg's at 98 subs. So close to the 100 subs. Come on, everyone, let's get Digicool Things over 100 subs. Because when you get 100 subs, you can have a custom URL, I think. Want to see the current PCB whip? Are you going to post a picture, Brian? I think you should. Is that what you call it, Amos? A physical programming languages? I know you've been making you've been making microcontrollers talk to and make other microcontrollers do stuff. Like lots of them. Like I remember that video, a couple of videos you did. Oh, Maxine, you need to put the HTTP on there so people can click on the link. Yay! Greg's at 100. Well done, everyone. Hey, Christian. Hey, Thalos944. Look at all these people lurking or popping in now. Awesome. Programming toolkit aimed at kids. Okay. Cool. Let me know when it's available. I will buy some for my kids. There we go, Maxint. You did it. Yes. It's okay to take a break from video making sometimes. I can sure use a break sometimes, but I tend to... every time I'm going to take a break, I tend to just do stuff anyway. Watching on my TV and channel directly. Cool. Oh. Cool. Lurking is fine. It's totally cool to lurk. Not everyone has to chat if they don't want to. Yes, Jesus was here earlier. Jesus Christ was actually here earlier. How many people can say Jesus Christ visited their live stream? Anyone? Anyone? I'd like to know who that person was, actually. Except when I said hi to Jesus, my stream went down. Okay, Brian, let's click on the link. Open in a new window, though I don't break it. Okay. We're going to look at Brian's PCB. Don't jinx it, Maxint. There we go. D1 Mini Matrix Breakout. Ooh, I thought you were going to show us the Island PCB. You told who to do their homework. See, now we know he's not the real Jesus, because Jesus wasn't a Brit. Come on, unless I got my history wrong. I got my my Celsius Fahrenheit stuff wrong earlier, so clearly I could have my history wrong, but I'm pretty sure Jesus wasn't a Brit. So what's Brian saying? You can see that. You can see that either. What? So this is a D1 Mini goes here, and then what have we got? Pins and in and out. And wow. There's your 5V and ground for a screw terminal. We've got a diode and resistor and a heading. What does that say? Can't even see. Diode bypass with 5V in. Oh, center plus. I bet you did that recently, didn't you, Brian? There is a song. We're not going to start singing Monty Python, are we? Let's not do that. Could anyone tell me if it's okay to put an audio amp and ESP32 on the same PCB? Why not? Why can't you put them both on the same PCB? You worried about EMC? Like you worried about like the audio amp affecting the RF? Why is that what, Brian? Wait, who's I think there's like 5 different conversations going now, and I think I can't tell which ones are answers for which. Make sure you make the terminal block holes big enough. They can be beefy. The center plus thing here, did you put the center plus because we were discussing it before? Because I didn't have it on my board. Yes, it's all Scott's fault. Everything's Scott's fault. Unless it's my fault. That looks pretty cool. New leg, my dudes. Okay, don't know what that is. Anyway, cool, Brian. So when are you putting that into... So what's it called? Hang on. The D1 mat. Oh, come on. I thought there was going to be some Irish slang in there. Sure you did it independently. Sure you did, Brian. That's cool. When are you putting it into JLC? Can you check out my ASP PCB too? Sure. Okay, let's. Okay, I will do that. So unless someone or Reddit. Ugh. Okay, no, it's fine. New window. There's no picture on here. Do I have to be signed in to see this? Can you just send the link directly, not on Reddit, Georgie? Like a link to the picture? Because I can't see the picture here. If you can send a link directly to the picture, that would be helpful. Yeah, there should be no problem with sticking anything on the same board as an ESP32. Just don't put them next to each other. Make sure things are well grounded. For something like an amp, you're probably going to have to just be careful not to have any ground loops. Be careful with your ground loops, I guess, or you're going to get some EMC issues. Open a new window. Let's try this again. Okay, now we've got a board. Designed by Real Opera. So that is an ESP32. Oops, did not mean to zoom that. So there's an ESP30. Was that a ESP32? The USB on that side. Interesting. So what is this to fit a particular case? Like you've got something very... Well, that trace is really close to the edge. Way too close to the edge. Be careful there. That is a tolerance that JLC, PCB, or any PCB manufacturer can't do. The same with these pads. These pads are way too close to the edge. Just letting you know. In my opinion, anyway. You see? There's Scott jumping in. His smart knowledge. Yeah, I think you potentially have a your tolerances around the edges of the board. This battery protection PCB. So why has it got an ESP32 on it if it's a battery protection? Or are you just saying that you've got battery protection on the back of it? Yeah, some of these are really close. I mean, I guess only you can really say if it's going to work or not. Woohoo! Well done, Greg. Cool things. Yes. Yeah, you need at least 1 mil away from the edge, because we all know that, especially on a custom board that has to be milled like this, it's a custom milling. You're going to, yeah, every board you make is going to be slightly different. So be very careful. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, I don't know, like, you know, without really seeing a schematic, I can't tell you if the board's going to work or not, but, sure. Your silk also, like the LED1, LED2, like they're not going to work. Like you're going to lose way more text than what you're seeing there. Like that'll be unreadable, just to let you know as well. Phalos, would anybody be willing to check the board layout before I order from JLC? Have you got a picture of the board layout? Post one. I mean, we're all doing design. What is it? Design reviews right now. Let's do some more. Sure. Nefers, see you later. Sorry I didn't see it before. Catch you later. Thanks for joining as usual. Oh, my back and neck's still bad, by the way. So your edge connectors are fine. You just need to be very clear that's what they are, right? And they need to go right to the edge. Like if you look, it's a bit hard to see on this picture, but if you look at this edge here, oops, like there's edge there. So you know that there's clearance. For your edge connectors, you need to make sure that your clearance is going off the edge, and then you need to specify in your order with JLC that you've got, they call it fingers, that you're using fingers. If you don't tell them, they'll look at it and they'll think it's a design problem. All right, but so if you go to their, let me just go to JLC. I'm sure everyone, I can't remember now, it's been a while since I've ordered anywhere else, but if you look at, so you go to calculate, one of their options is gold fingers. So, because generally if you're going to do, like they're going to be gold, they're going to be Enig. If you're going to be doing, yeah, you know what I mean. So you generally, you need to specify. If you don't, they're going to assume it's a design problem. Ooh, we have another one here from Maxint. Here we go. Open a new window. Okay, this is an easy EDA link. Are you sure you want to do an easy EDA link? We can do. Okay, so what is V1, V2? Which one are we looking at? V2? Right, I don't want to open the editor because I'm not signed in. I don't think I can even do that. Yeah, a bit hard to look at it this way. Maxint, OMD. I can't, maybe I can do this. View it in a new tab. Maybe it'll let me do a high res. Oh, there we go. So that's the schematic. Mini AT Tiny 44A development board. Cool, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do one of these bigger ones. Maybe. Open a new window. Well, not new window. Yeah, no. Little image. Yeah, I need a link to a bigger image. Sorry. Oh, there you go. Anyone else want to post a PCB? Okay, it's not designed yet, they lost said. Okay, that's cool. Whenever you're ready. On another stream is cool. Embedded Hobbyist, catch you later. Thank you for joining. Okay, 10 o'clock. Wow, almost 3 hour mark. I think I will call this at 10 o'clock. And I might go to sleep. Get some sleep. Maybe, no. Sounds PCB review hour. I'm not sure I should be reviewing anyone's PCBs. I think I need people to review my PCBs. But I think collectively, it's nice to look at other people's work. If anyone can learn and improve, that's good. Is the custom URL separate from your Google profile? Yes, it is. So the custom URL in YouTube is just for your channel. You need to bring a schematic. Sure. Seriously, if anyone wants any eyes on their projects or just review or help, please bring on a stream. If I have time, I'll definitely do it. Obviously, if I don't have time, then don't be offended if we don't, but happy to do it if we will. You know what I hate about the custom URLs is YouTube don't use them. So if I go to my channel, even if I go to /unexpectedmaker, at some point it switches out to just their code, which is really annoying. So the channel I never use. Do you have a channel, David? I didn't even know. Wow. Everyone's been subbing in circles. But I bet no one subbed to me, did they? No. Poor me. Poor me, not getting any of the subs. I figured you're all subbed anyway if you're here, right? David forgot he had a channel. Yeah, the switching to the channel ID is a pain. I really don't like how they do that. I'm not sure why they do that. I've lost my here's my dashboard. 2793. I'm so close to 2800. Come on, get that hurdle. Get there. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, 27. Okay, I picked up 2 subs since the stream started. That's okay. I don't feel so bad now. I don't feel left out. Just screens hotted my one, but nowhere to upload it quickly. What? FM channel. Whoa, Paul. What? Just screens hotted my one, but nowhere to upload it quickly. It's a 19 by 21 millimeter. Oh, that's small. Bluetooth audio FM transmitter, OLED, and controlled by a SAMD21. Oh wow, cool. So why did you use a SAMD21 and Bluetooth? Like, why didn't you just use a Bluetooth module that had a Cortex M0 already in it? Like an NRF or something. Well, that's not a Cortex M0, but like an NRF module instead. Out of curiosity. Was it like a size thing? Oh, is that screen hotted? I thought maybe the screen made your butt get hot, because that's kind of what you wrote, except it was only 1 T on the butt. Who knows? When I changed my channel name to all the things, it changed my Google profile. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know it did that. SAMD's for Cap Touch. Okay, but a lot of those also have Cap Touch. Okay. Oh, don't get me wrong, I love SAMD21. I use them in a Reflow Master. But, yeah, I just thought it was, like, you know, strange you didn't go for a microcontroller that already had USB, that had Bluetooth with it already. An FM transmitter. So is that in the same IC, Bluetooth and FM, or is that 2 different things? Curious to see what this board is, Paul. Definitely curious to see. There's just so many things with electronics, like the broad range of stuff that you can play with and to learn and to do. Like, I don't know. It's just never ending. I feel like I just can't make a dent in all the things I want to learn and play with. It's just endless. Endless. You know, forgetting about feeling bad about the hardware I've got that I don't get to play with. But there's also a whole lot of stuff that I try not to buy things because things are going to just sit there, right? That I'm never going to play with because I feel even more guilty if I own it and don't play with it, as opposed to wanting to own it and don't play with it. But yeah, there's just so much stuff. Yeah, electronics, huge, broad. Too much to do, too little time. Absolutely. Finding a Bluetooth module that's small enough, has Cap Touch and easy audio out was a mission. Okay, that's fair enough. I haven't really done much Bluetooth stuff other than my Hot Wheels project, which is still sitting here, which works, but I want to make a custom PCB for it, and I want to make cases for it. Like, Flynn asks me all the time, like at least every 2 weeks, hey, when are you going to finish my Hot Wheels project? And I go, whoops, one day. But other than that, that's the only Bluetooth work I've really done. I mean, I don't think I've ever enabled Bluetooth really on my ESP32s. So yeah, but I will one day, I guess. Just Bluetooth seems really awkward to work with, especially BLE. Seems quite cumbersome and frustrating. Just yeah, in terms of their just the setup and the categories you need to pick and use and stuff. I guess for your own projects where you're just getting 2 things talking, it's not a problem. But if you want to release something that's got Bluetooth support, it's quite painful. So far it's 5 stack boards to fit the profile. We have 0.4.6 should take it down to 4. Wow, 46 revisions, dude. That's way more than Tiny Pico. Sorry. I'll let her make a joke about Tiny Pico revisions, aren't I? Everyone else does. Is Bluetooth and ESP32 supported in Arduino? Yes, it absolutely is supported in Arduino. It's just not supported in MicroPython. Yeah. Yet. It's being worked on. So Bluetooth's quite complicated to support. That's what I'm saying. Like the specification is quite difficult, especially with Bluetooth 3 wasn't. Bluetooth 4 normally, whatever, but the BLE stuff and Bluetooth 5 is actually quite complex to support. But yeah, Arduino's had it for a while. I don't know how good the Bluetooth is on the ESP32. But yeah, there's definitely support for it. And in hindsight, I could have, you know, for my Hot Wheels project, I definitely could have done ESP on one side and Bluetooth on the other, or I could have even done just ESP now, actually, and done ESP on both sides. Yeah, Bluetooth's a mind bender. I mean, not like RF. I mean, RF's a mind bender. Makes Bluetooth look easy. But no, Bluetooth just in general, especially with low BLE stuff, the spec is quite, yeah, gnarly. Some mail turned up. Did you seriously have no mail to open, Scott? No way. I don't believe it. I can't believe I got through all my mail. I've only got 3 packages left. As I said, they're not for Unexpected Maker stuff. They're just general household stuff. Wow. I have to find a place to put all this stuff now. Jeez. I'm getting terrible at storage. Yes. Yeah, we are. If I don't know if I want to... I think one of the reasons I'm avoiding finalising this... Well, other than I promised I wasn't going to do it till the end of the campaign, but one of the reasons I haven't done a new version of this yet or continued with my Tiny Pico Pro, really, is I need to see how this goes in campaign first, but this needs a complete RF matching as well. So whatever I come up with has to get sent off to get RF matched. Which is just yeah. So the guy that did my RF matching, he was very unhappy with me. Because the network's underneath the antenna. So every time he wanted to tweak it, he had to hot air the antenna off, fix stuff, hot air the antenna back on again. I mean, that was really painful. There's no solution to that, because if I move the network out, then it can't ever go back under, right? Because it's going to change. So, yeah. So if he thought that was bad, wait till he sees this. He's going to absolutely flip out on that. Hey, Andy Mouse, do you live stream to go over your PCB design? Maybe Sam could review image links. Happy to, yeah. Graham, I'm not a maker, I'm a collector. Lots of parts neatly sorted and labelled. You know what? Being a collector sounds kind of cool as well, but I would feel the need to make stuff as well. Like I wouldn't want to... Whoops. I don't think I'd want to collect and not make. Like having stuff in my hands that I could do stuff with. Yeah. Surely you can be in the end antenna fit. So try that again, Teplatronics. Maybe English. Can you repeat that in English? I'm just going to wait for Teplatronics to... I can bend. You can bend the antenna. No, the antenna's attached on 4 positions. The antenna is attached here, here. Oh, it's not even on camera. Sorry. Here and here on this side at the ends, and then here. So there's no bending it out of the way. And then the matching network's underneath these 2. And then, of course, if you bend the antenna, it changes its characteristics, and then that changes RF. And eventually you're going to break it off. It's quite thin. So, yeah, I wouldn't be... there's no... The only top piece is this bit here, and to bend that off, the matching network's under here. Not under here. You won't get in there. No way. No, you got to remember how small. Hang on. There we go. So that's the matching network. I mean, that looks disgusting and dirty. But that's the matching network just here. That's 2. You can't get that off and rework that underneath the antenna. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. You have to take the antenna off. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, is there a reason other than space for the matching network to be under? No, it's really... Oops, I keep doing that. It's space, I guess. It's space and clearance. I keep switching back. So the matching network needs quite a bit of clearance around it. So like I couldn't stick the matching network here. It's too close to the antenna trace. And then the matching network needs to be as close to the antenna feed as possible. See you, Teletronics. Catch you later. Thanks for joining. So getting it close to the feed and having clearance would mean that the antenna would have to be sitting another 10 millimeters like away here, like over here, to make the matching network outside of it, which makes the board like at least 8 or 9 mil wider. Sorry, longer. Yeah. So, I mean, you can break all the rules, right? I mean, I can put the matching network over here, right away from the antenna, and make it easy to get to, and then technically you could still tune the network, but you're never going to get it great. Like it's, you know, there's only so much of breaking the spec, the reference design for the antenna, that eventually at some point you're going to completely degrade your antenna. Now, if it still gives you good enough results, no problem. But in this particular case, because it's a 3D antenna, the whole ability to be able to put components underneath is a feature for it. But normally, someone who's going to be matching it wouldn't be matching it this late in the process. They wouldn't be matching it on a finished board. It'd be part of the design, and you'd be using, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, my expectation was that the reason I sent him so many different boards, like here was an empty board for him to play with, and then there was a couple of boards fully populated, was that he could, my expectation was that he'd be able to do the reading off a completed board like this without the chip, right? Because he was patching into the antenna line, get a reading from it and characterize the board, and then work here and do it all by maths. Like my expectation was that with the Smith chart and a pen and paper and calculator, he could do the matching network without having to keep swapping components as much. But I think at some point you need to test that it's working. So I don't know. I wasn't watching him. Obviously, it happened in China. Could the matching network be on the underside? Not really. Because once you've got a power and ground plane between the matching network and the antenna feed, then you're completely changing the characteristics of the antenna. And the matching network and the antenna feed need to be sitting around a ground plane. And there's a ground plane on the top layer, as well as an inner ground plane, but there's no ground plane on the bottom. And there can't be a ground plane on the bottom underneath the antenna. So yeah, that's, you know. So moving the antenna away from the antenna feed is already a no-no. Moving it to the other side of the board is a complete no-no. Like it's, at that point you might as well not have a matching network and just suck it and see. You know what I mean? Like you're going from one extreme of of matching a spec for the characteristics of the antenna use to complete other extreme. Like you could make it 10 times worse. Like you could get complete, EMI issues through the power plane. You could get all sorts of weird stuff. You could get massive heat build up through looping, signal, reflection. Who knows? So in my case, under makes sense because I'm space limited, right? But even, I don't have it here. No, even like Espressive's reference board, I don't have it in front of me right now, they put theirs underneath. They're not as space constrained, but they still put it underneath because you could. The project I could buy on Ali for 50p, but where's the fun? And just, right, sure. So how does who learn all this stuff? You're asking me? How do I learn all this stuff? I'm at revision 10 on my board. Trial and error. A lot of research, just a lot of speaking to people, learning off people as much as I can, asking questions, Googling, reading data sheets, making mistakes, looking at a lot of reference schematics. Right, they'd be using a spectrum analyzer, to plot Smith charts to work out how bad it all is, but that doesn't mean they can fix it. Like setting yourself up for failure by sticking your matching network on the wrong side of the board with a power and ground plane between it is just asking yourself for trouble. Right, well the tray it's all one piece. So the antenna, the matching network, and your antenna trace to the actual pin is all the antenna, right? Like it all becomes one, and they need to be tuned together. Like to get the matching network on the bottom, you'd have to stick vias in there. You'd have to stick at least one via, if not two vias. And that, again, completely changes the characteristics of stuff. Thanks, Amos. I know it looks like I've come a long way. It doesn't feel like it sometimes. I feel like no matter how much knowledge I get, I've got an unclimbable mountain worth of stuff I still want to learn, which is, yeah. It's demoralizing. I find it demoralizing, to be totally honest. I feel like every step I take forward is really just 20 steps backwards. Not backwards, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm stationary. I'll get there. At some point, I guess. We all do. We all get there somewhere. Yeah, I know. I don't mean to be complaining. Like, and I love learning stuff all the time. That's why I'm doing this. It's not a complaint. My only complaint is I can't accelerate my learning any faster. I don't feel like I can. And I can't slow time down. Right? My complaints about things I can't do anything about. But, and as much as I've learnt about RF, I still only know 1% of it. I couldn't do this myself. I still don't even know how to use my scope, let alone a spectrum analyzer or a VNA. But, like, it's interesting. RF's interesting. But as long as you've got someone you can go to actually to do the final mathematics on it, it's fine. If you don't, well, yeah. What's the difference between a point revision and a whole number one? Are we talking about, Graham, are you talking to Paul about his numbering scheme? Been fixing radios for 30 years now. Yeah, a long time. You can tell you've been doing it a long time. Actually, I meant to ask you a couple of times on your stream, because I lurk occasionally on your streams, Scott. So I accuse people of lurking here, but I generally don't, I mean, other than saying hi, I generally don't pop up unless I've got something to contribute. And on your streams, I generally don't feel like I do. But I've actually been meaning to ask you a few times, like what your background is. I'm sure you've covered it before in the stream. You've been asked before. But yeah, one day. When we stop learning is when we die. Or, it depends how you want to say that one, hey, Greg? My number scheme was plucked out of thin air. Yeah, like coming from numbering revisions for games and like development and stuff, where numbering schemes can get really crazy and out of control in terms of what they mean. That's why with my Tiny Picos, it's just a sequential number. I'm up to number 10 now. Although I did end up calling it Rev X and not Rev 10 because I'm going to go to Roman numerals now because X was narrower than a 1 and a 0. You work in the plastics industry. Okay. Interesting. The mountain may be huge, but each item is a mountain in its own right, and you've conquered many more than a lot of us in much less time. Thank you, Gavin. I think on some things I have, sure. I'm also, doing this. Like, I'm picking really hard challenges for myself, and I'm investing a lot of time and money and resources into learning. So, it's an advantage I have right now that I can do that. But that's, as I've said many times, my time is limited. XI is narrower than 10, actually. It is, because with a vector font, a 1 and 0 takes up more room. Go check it out and have a look, and you'll see mountain metaphor. Each sub-subject is a foothill on the way to the big mountain. I don't know about enlightenment. I'm also worried about the knowledge I'm forgetting as I'm learning. Because I don't know about any of you guys and girls, whoever's here, but as I'm getting older, my ability to retain information is getting reduced. And so instead of growing my knowledge base, I'm just stomping older stuff, and I don't know what I'm stomping. I don't know what I'm forgetting because I've forgotten it. Does that make sense? Perseverance. Can we stop with all the motivational stuff? 11 might be smaller, maybe. Yeah, and then when I get to 13, well, My plan was not to go above X, remember? I want this revision to be my last revision. Like, really? I'll leave it Rev X from now on. I'll stick just a different number somewhere else on the board. Oh, hello, the 6P4C. Yes, I've forgotten. I've forgotten more than I've forgotten. No, not. It's not that I've forgotten more that some people know. I'm gonna flip it around. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, two-digit rev numbers. No, I'm gonna go to two different revision numbers. Whatever. Reduced is rubbish. The mind isn't a conveyor belt. However, the half-life of unused information is about 6 months. I don't know, because I remember useless stuff from way back sometimes. Anyway, I think it is. I think it is like a conveyor belt, in a way. It's not linear, like a conveyor belt, but I definitely think that there's a finite size, and you have to drop some stuff to put some stuff in. I think just need to change the name of the board, then you can start numbering it at 1 again. It's a Tiny Pico 1, revision 1. Oh, Tiny Pico 2, revision 1. That's a great idea. There you go, David. Thanks. Yes, we did note you forgetting your coffee on occasion. Yeah, I didn't even finish my coffee today. Okay, I wanted to stop at 10 o'clock. It's now 10:15. You've fooled me. You've done a sleight of hand on me. You've distracted me from the time. I know more and more about less and less. Yeah, maybe it feels like that as well. Maybe the quality of information feels like it's degrading, not the quantity, maybe. Everyone appalls is revision 1. I'll just be glad if I finish it. I don't care what revision I get to. If this is the final board, which it should be, I'll just be so happy. I can't begin to tell you all how excited I'd be to be able to move on. Yeah, yes, I must go and move some boxes. Wow, how much are you moving, Greg? Like, either you've been moving for a really long time, or you're the laziest mover. No offense, but like how many? Like, you're doing like 1 box a week? How much stuff have you moving? Didn't you start moving in November or October? It's February. Sorry, I don't mean to pick. As a teenager, I knew everything as a teenager, and now look how far I come. Yeah. Yes. Didn't we all think we knew everything as a teenager? Wow, kids are just nuts. I know, because I got some nuts. Anyway, I'm calling this. Thank you all. It's been an awesome stream. Much more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. Thank you all for participating and joining. Don't forget to like if you haven't already. I haven't even looked to see how many people have or haven't. Yeah, whatever. And if you're new here, if it's the first time you've been in my stream, welcome, thanks. If it's the first time you've said hi, you've been lurking forever, hi. Continue lurking if you want to, feel free to, but always come and say hi, always nice. Complicated moving, downsized and moved, and then sold houses and bought house, and wow, okay, yes, much more complicated move. Yes, good point. Still, slack. Taking your time. Anyway, bye everyone. Thank you. I will see you all next week, I guess. Or you'll see me next week. I'll read your texts next week. Yeah. Anyway, bye everyone. Where's that stop button? There it is. Catch you later.